Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. 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 Are you still asleep? They took a flat map and wrapped it around a ball and made you think you live on it. Anybody else might run into a small unfortunate accident. Now you're burning everything. Oh, you can't really get it right. Oh, damn it. You see, there you go. Okay, it's folding right there. It's creased. You will be bombed by 22 minutes. Possibly on the floor. No knowledge at all. All the ball earthers have no knowledge. It's magical. Remember, I want you to think about the chemicals. Okay? These are my thoughts. Hopefully you'll think about it. You can't put something that's flat around on a ball. It doesn't work. Enjoy. All right, YouTube, you bastards. Okay, the sun was standing.
Why don't you stop this bullshit? Idiot.
See, I didn't know that. Are you still asleep? Huh? Are you still asleep? Wake up! And have a good time. It should be fun. Get your popcorn out, because it's going to be a winner.
Karma's a bitch. Queen of Karma.
What the fuck is the matter with these people?
Hi everyone, how are you all doing today? I hope that you're all having a wonderful, wonderful, amazing day. Happy Flat Earth Friday. It has been a while. Yes, I didn't even realize how long it has been since I did one of these, but it has been just over 10 months since we last saw what our friends in the Flat Earth movement were up to. So I thought that, we needed to do an update. It's been long enough. We don't want to go a year now. That's too long. So today we're going to be talking about what has been going on in the Flat Earth movement, the Flat Earth cult, since we last left it off, which was about December 2024. And then we're going to also be discussing what's going on in the moment, as well as reacting to some of Cece's videos, because he's been not as busy as I thought he would have been, but he is still uploading. And our biggest question today, of course, everybody, is going to be, was it the final experiment? So for those that don't really know what's going on, there was a final experiment. I will explain everything to you. Do not worry. Do not fret. Do not fear. You are in good hands. In the past year, the Flat Earth community has been buzzing with drama and big experiments. The most notable was their Antarctica expedition in December 2024. This is where we last left the FLERF community. The Antarctica final expedition was organized by Pastor Will Duffy. 48 content creators were invited to go on this trip, and 8 people, including Will, traveled to Antarctica to disprove the globe. We had 4 flat earthers and 4, they call us globe earthers. I think we're just normal people, but anyway. And instead, the flat earthers witnessed the 24-hour sun, which is impossible under the flat earth models. This caused splits in the community, something that if you have been watching my channel for a while, you'll be quite familiar with. When a community splits up, what happens? So some doubled down, of course, with refraction excuses, and others quietly backed away. Flat earther Geron Campanelli admitted on camera, "Sometimes you are wrong in life. I thought there was no 24-hour sun, but I was pretty sure of it," he says.
Right. So obviously you all know Jaron Campanella of Jaronism, one of the most popular Flat Earth YouTube channels.
Not for long.
Yep.
All right, guys. Sometimes you are wrong in life. And I thought that there was no 24-hour sun. In fact, I was pretty sure of it. But I respect Will Duffy for being a stand-up guy, at least in the way that he kept saying it was true. I kept saying it wasn't. He said, "Do you want to go? I'll take you." And he brought me here, and it's a fact. The sun does circle you in the south. So what does that mean? You guys are going to have to figure that out yourself. Don't listen to my beliefs or my opinion. It shouldn't matter to you. But at least you should be able to accept that the sun does exactly what these guys said as far as circles the southern continent. So that's about it. I realize that I'll be called a shill for just saying that.
So yeah, that happened. And I guess he called it. Geron stopped short of saying he would receive backlash in this video. So I found this article that kind of discusses what happened. He stopped short of definitely admitting that the Earth is a sphere, but he did confess that the azimuthal, I can never say this word, equidistant map, the most popular flat Earth model, no longer makes sense in his mind based on what he saw in Antarctica. Please forgive me, okay? I am completely autistic. I have a speech impediment, and I was like, YouTube would be an amazing idea where I read little words on a screen. I don't know why, but here we are. So, of course, he said, this is the rest of the statement that he was about to say, right? "I realize I'll be called a shill for saying that. And you know what? If you're a shill for being honest, so be it. I honestly believe there was no 24-hour sun. I honestly now believe there is." There it is, he said. It seems silly since most of us can acknowledge that a spherical Earth is settled science. But by making this admission on camera, Jaron risked losing his whole audience, his credibility in his community, and even his livelihood as a content creator with nearly 200,000 followers. So he had a lot on the line, you know? It took courage to finally admit that he was wrong. Respect for Jaron. He sounded shaken and he knows he's going to receive backlash, wrote a commentator on YouTube. Reddit went wild with this news. Over on Reddit, there were plenty of jokes about flat earthers, with some suggesting it's all a scam to get free trips. One said, "I have a suspicion that flat earthers are only doing this so that one day people might be exasperated enough with them, would give a free flight to the space just to prove them wrong." Another added, "This is where I see much of the explanation for high-profile flat earthers. It's not really about proving the earth is flat. It's about attention and everything that comes along with it. They're almost like con men in a way." A third said, "Why even bother pandering to their delusion? If these morons want to believe the earth is flat or even suspended on the back of a giant turtle, I really don't care. They're morons and have no power or influence worth bothering about. Just laugh at them. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice." You know? Flat Earth forums erupted. Some called Jaron a sellout, as he predicted, or controlled opposition. Others insist the footage was faked or manipulated, even though they played the whole thing live, you know? There was a conspiracy pivot. Claims emerged that Antarctica is scripted or that participants were bribed. and skeptic channels flood YouTube with reaction videos, framing it as the death of flat Earth. And I guess here today we're talking about, was it the death of the flat Earth movement? Has this been the final experiment? What is going on? Hi, Violet. Good to see you. No FLERFs in chat? I don't think they're brave enough to step in here. They are welcome. I wouldn't shoo them away. They're funny to me. Yeah, I've dealt with some drama. They don't really bring drama. They're just kind of, come over and blabber on about their belief system and why they believe it and tell me I'm wrong, and we laugh at them and move it along. But this fracture has actually defined the movement in the current year, 2025, with new apps, conferences, and conspiracy pivots trying to patch the cracks. In the spring to summer of 2025, there was the Firmament Tracker app by Stephen Alonso, which gained traction offering a new model of the dome. We'll look more into that in a second. There's flat Earth conferences that are continuing on, but attendance has dipped. Not as many people in the flat Earth movement as there was before this, experiment. Organizers reframe the movement now as part of a broader truth community. Debates and humiliation clips of Flat Earther Dave, lovely Dave, go viral, which ironically actually just keeps him relevant. Like, if all of us globe earthers that like to react to these guys stopped reacting to them, they wouldn't be as relevant. But it's just so god-darn funny, isn't it? And it's a great example of how people can believe something that is, like, completely wacky, that most people consider completely out there, But they just believe it so much. Well, except for Dave here. He doesn't believe it, but, we've talked about that in detail. I have reacted to him. So before we move on to what the Firmament app is, I think you need to know what the firmament actually is. So it's the idea of a giant dome over the earth, which separates the world below from the waters or heavens above. Flat earthers treat this as literal structure, not just a poetic or ancient metaphor, which is why Stephen built his Firmament Tracker app, to model the dome and claim it explains the sun, moon, and stars without needing a globe. The concept comes from the Hebrew Bible, Genesis 1, where God creates a rakia, firmament, to separate the waters above from the waters below. Flat earthers argue the Bible and other ancient texts describe a physical dome, so they reject modern astronomy and all modern science. They claim the firmament prevents humans from leaving Earth, explaining why space travel is fake. The dome is framed as proof of a designed enclosed system, not a random universe. After Antarctica, the dome belief became a lifeline. What else do they have? A way to keep the movement alive despite losing their biggest test. Yes, pivot! So now let's get into this Firmament Tracker app by Stephen Alonso. Now, this was written by him. This is from his website, and this is how he thinks of himself. So this is how he describes himself. Stephen Alonso is an innovative computer scientist and the lead developer of the Firmament Tracker's Flat Earth app, known for its groundbreaking work in both academia and technology, integrating multiple observers into flat Earth software, a feature unmatched by globe-based models. His vision for the firmament trackers pushes the boundaries of scientific exploration, providing users with unique experiences. Alonso's expertise in enterprise application development and his leadership at Flat Earth University contribute significantly to the app's success. Again, this is what he's saying. Stephen maintains an impressive resume as a team leader and is available for drop in ADHOC work on Scrum Agile teams with rates starting at $50 US per hour. I guess it's also his resume. If you are looking to start a business and do not have funding, Stephen is available to build the business for an equity stake and controlling interest in it. You know, just funny. Fleetwood here says, I still like how in first grade my teacher explained Christopher Columbus and why the earth was round. They didn't fall off. Good enough for me. He needs an AI twin. He does. So this is from the website. This was posted, as you can see, on September 1st, 2024. Says the Firmament Trackers app has been in development for the last 2 months. We have implemented the first ever 3D interactive, scientifically and biblically accurate flat earth model, and we're excited to announce that the app is nearing completion. With this app, you'll be able to make real-world sun and moon predictions, including the tilt from the horizon and the sun's path from your perspective at any time and date. The azimuth feature even allows your compass to point you in the correct direction. We're planning to release the app for both Android and Apple devices on October 1st, with both free and paid versions available. And it was released on October 1st, 2024 for Android and iOS. The free version included the basic dome model with sun and moon tracking. The pro version costs about $11.99 US, and that adds in stars, planets, and multiple observers. It is still being patched. Still to this day, it is being patched. It's been over a year now, with features like dome refraction and 3D navigation added. Its predictions don't match real-world astronomy. It's essentially a visual toy, not a scientific tool. A pseudoscience wrapped in flashy graphics. But this gave the flat earthers a new model to rally around after the Antarctica trip fractured the movement. Because even though it started in October, it kind of popped off again, if you will, in December after this trip when they were all kind of scrambling for something to hold on to, right? Promoted by Flat Earth Dave, Mark Sargent, who I've also covered, Patricia Steer, and others as proof that the dome model works. However, some reject it, claiming it's too globe-like or that Stephen is controlled opposition. And when I say some reject it, I mean some of the flat earthers are rejecting it. Of course, we reject it as globe earthers. But there are some people even within the flat earth movement that are like, it's a little too globe-like. I don't know if I like it, you know? So where are things standing now? The movement is fractured but not dead. Hardcore believers cling to dome cosmology and Antarctica's off-limits narratives. Moderate voices have drifted away, embarrassed by the failed experiment. The final experiment is now a litmus test. If you still believe after Antarctica, you're in the most extreme camp. For some, it made them believe in the flat earth even more. Not even 24 hours ago, Flat Earth Dave announced his Truther 2025 Con. See, it's called Truther 2025 Con. Funny, because I believe the entire Flat Earth community to be a giant con. But what was that about?
Something huge is coming. We're building the world's largest truther convention. It's called TrutherCon.
This is the place where truthers unite to explore
Right.
knowledge, ask tough questions, to challenge the mainstream narrative.
But it isn't just a convention. It's a movement for free.
Oh, yeah, no. We're used to hearing that. We're not just a business. We're a movement. We're not just a religion. We're a movement.
Free thought, open discussion, and the right to question everything.
We are bringing in some of the biggest names of the truther community,
Oh, no.
so expect deep discussions,
God.
mind-blowing revelations, and connections with like-minded truth seekers.
If you feel like the truth is being hidden from you, this is where you need to be.
And the best part, it's 100% grassroots, built by truthers for truthers, straight from our Skiba News Nation family. TrutherCon will be a massive networking event. I believe this is going to be the most exciting truther event ever.
October 2025 in Dallas, Texas. We hope to see you there.
Tickets available now, guys. Get out your wallets. You know, the Flat Earth community wouldn't exist if it wasn't all about getting out all your wallets to go and give these guys money, buy their books, go to their conventions, pay. No different than the MLM community. Literally the exact same thing. Oh, you want to be successful? Well, here, let me train you. Come to our conventions, buy our books. The exact same grift, just a different demon, I guess you could say. You know? It's the exact same thing as when the MLM huns are like, come to our Monet conference. And we're like, oh God, you know? Except, as you can see, it's all truther con. It's not Flat Earth con. It's truther con. You know what I'm saying? You absolutely have to be kidding. You cannot be this ignorant. And I do mean ignorant, not dumb. Are you making money off this? Yes, my 6,000 subscriber YouTube channel. I'm a fucking millionaire. You caught me. NASA pays me every week. They send me a check. I am a fucking millionaire out of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Paid shill for the globe earthers. You caught me. Otherwise, why would you deny reality? Well, I actually pass that question off to you. If you're not ignorant, why are you denying reality? Already proved that the 24-hour sun exists, so I don't know what you're doing. At this point, you're choosing to be ignorant. It's a choice. And I don't even know if it's a manipulation. Like, we're still kind of trying to decide how much of a manipulation this community does to the members. It's what we're doing here. You know? I was hoping that you were just not this stupid. But I thought you said that you were calling me ignorant and not stupid. It's literally what you just said. And within 2 seconds, you've gone back on that and had a little flip show. Oh my. Oh my. You're disgusting for saying people need to grift when that is what you do. Yep. I make the big bucks. That's right. Like I said, I'm a millionaire. You caught me. I don't know what I'll do now. I guess I should just end the stream and go home. Nope, let's make fun of this.
The reason why we're doing our conference, TrutherCon in Dallas, is because that was the first time the
I'm
word...
sorry, but this is the guy that you want to get your information from? With the tattoos on his face? I thought that this was a conservative movement, and you guys don't like tattoos. Did Tom McDonald make you change your mind? What happened?
Conspiracy theorist was used to demonize people that thought outside the box, really questioned the narrative, and that Warren Commission report was the first time that they used it against.
Yeah, I have a gold-plated toilet with all the money that I've grifted. My bedroom looks like Washington, D.C. right now, you know? The White House, how Trump made it look. Like Dubai. You know, I took inspiration from the scams in Dubai and Donald Trump to decorate my bathroom. We're taking a break tonight from doing something productive. I do something productive every day. Can we not laugh at people with silly belief systems sometimes? She's countering a false narrative from insane people. See? And I do that every day. But Lordy, we were just trying to have a bit of fun tonight with it. Don't have to get so serious and start doing personal attacks on my intelligence. I mean, I don't even go all out and start talking about how dumb all of you are, because I understand manipulation and indoctrination into these groups, since that's literally what I talk about every day. So I wouldn't even go as mean as to call you dumb or stupid. Is it a stupid belief system? 100%. But is everyone that believes it stupid? No. Just like is everyone that joins an MLM or a cult stupid? No. Same thing here. I believe that across the board. In fact, cults and communities like this look for intelligent people to dupe to legitimize them more. It's literally what they do. So I don't know why people see communities like this, honestly, and they go, oh, all those people are dumb. No. They want smart people. You know?
Us.
TrutherCon is a mixed bag of presenters from a variety of YouTube channels. And so what we're doing is we're having people come and present their best case for whatever it is they believe is the most important thing to share. And then we're opening it up.
It sounds so organized. We're just gonna have them come over here and do this whole con, and they'll just be sharing whatever they feel like it is important. Whatever piece of misinformation and pseudoscience they feel like spreading to our earth, to the people of our world, in order to try to harm them in some way, we'll just let them come say it. It'll be great. Awesome con. Great name for it, con.
For open questioning from the audience to question anything that's presented. It's a conference to have all of these different individuals who are well-researched in their particular area.
But well-researched in their particular area, in this case, often means they spent a lot of time on Reddit and on Facebook and in conspiracy theory forums. It does not mean that they're educated in a field of study that they can then share. And that's what's partially worrisome about, a movement like this. Since, now they're trying to be the truther movement. It's kind of like they're trying to shed the flat earth thing and kind of jump on the backs of just every conspiracy theorist now. Like, no, guys, we're the truthers. We're the ones that are seeking the truth about what's going on in our world. Yeah, man, everything's controlled by the government, man.
That they present as an important truth to be able to be questioned. And then we're going to have a panel at the end of be able to cross-examine different speakers.
So yeah, there was that. This was just announced. So here is the itinerary, I guess. I don't know if this is like the actual itinerary that they're going with, and that's why it's shown here, or if they're just kind of showing us an example. So don't hold them to this, I guess. But there was that. And that's been released, like I said, in the last 24 hours. They've been really pumping out the content on that. So why do people still believe in flat Earth? Or any of these weird conspiracy belief systems, right? Flat Earth belief is less about science and more about distrust of authority. Many followers reject governments, scientists, and institutions, seeing themselves as independent thinkers. The model offers simplicity and certainty. A flat horizon feels easier to grasp than complex physics and astronomy. The belief provides a strong sense of identity and community. Online groups, conferences, like ones you just saw, and apps, like the Firmament app, create belonging and shared culture. Flat Earth belief system is a form of rebellion and individualism. Followers see themselves as resisting control and thinking for themselves. Cognitive biases reinforce the worldview. Confirmation bias filters out contradictory evidence. And the Dunning-Kruger effect leads people to overestimate their expertise. Ultimately, it is not about the shape of the earth. It is about the shape of trust. Flat Earth belief thrives because it offers certainty, belonging, and a way to push back against mainstream authority, which are all things that I personally can kind of get down with. As you know, a freaky little anarchist that speaks out about institutions and organizations all day long. Some of that, I'm like, yeah, I could see why that might appeal to some people. It's just, this isn't it. Do what I'm doing instead, It's way better than having a flat earth belief system. And of course, one of the main people that are still carrying on as if nothing really happened is our dear bestie, Cece. You remember Cece? Cece, Chris, from New York, Westchester County, on our flat earth. So I thought we would see how many videos we can react to his today. In fact, he uploaded within the last 24 hours. This one is kind of funny. It is called 1841. Are you effing kidding me on our flat earth? And something tells me he's going to be angry here. So, maybe it's the title. Let's see how it goes.
Okay. All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 10/12/25. I see you probably watched the last short that I did, and YouTube fucking does this all the time. All right, they put these things in that I don't want to be put in shorts, but they decide to do that. So it doesn't make a difference. All right, who cares?
Now, this is funny to me because I'm like, wait, YouTube doesn't just start taking your videos and put them into shorts. So I'm like, is he talking about the creators that are like myself that kind of like to react to him and the silly things he says? At the beginning of this stream, I played a whole 2 minutes of weird things that he said and the reactions I've done to him over the years. He's a very interesting character. Everybody likes him. He's funny. He's got that head of hair, We call him Scully a lot. The seagull from The Little Mermaid, when he does the fork in his hair and it poofs out. We've used that meme several times. But it's like, Cece, it's not YouTube doing that to you. That's just a bunch of creators that are you're reacting to the silly things you're saying. Cece works with people with disabilities, bringing them to and from their appointments. That's what he does as a job. So kind of like an Uber driver. That's sort of like an Uber driver. It's just a very specific kind, right? And I don't know if he does it through a third-party company or directly from the hospital. I don't go into people's personal lives like that. It doesn't matter. But that is why he is often in a vehicle when he's recording. And he even drives, unfortunately. Yeah, a medical driver. Yep, he's told us that before.
I just want to touch base with you on this Day of God. You know who God is? God, who
kind of
created everything here. He or she or whoever may be loves you and created all of this for you.
Aww.
I want you to think about something. This is an interesting thing. I want you to look back to 1841. What do you picture in 1841? What do you picture? You picture
I'm not really familiar. I got to be honest. I'm not that familiar with what was going on in 1841. So I don't really picture much. But okay, where are you going?
Log cabins,
Probably.
fireplaces, smokestacks.
Yeah, maybe.
What kind of instruments did they have back in 1841? Nothing. just to answer your question. They had nothing. But yet, they developed an incredible...
And it's kind of funny to think that Cece is like driving disabled people to and from the hospital, and that he's like nice with them and all sweet. And then in between, he jumps in his car and he comes on here and yells at us for a few minutes. It's kind of a funny thought, isn't it?
Aqueduct system that runs hundreds of miles. Hundreds of miles. Light wasn't even introduced to houses until the early 1900s.
Well, no,
Light.
that's...
You know what light is, right?
No, well, do you mean electricity? Like, baby, they were using fire to light things back in the caveman days so that they could see in dark spaces. So you mean electricity, like, in houses, right?
Yeah, that's how you're seeing me. See, the sun's out right now, okay?
Well,
and
the
that's
sun
how you're seeing me.
wasn't
But
invented then.
yet they were building tunnels underneath with no light, apparently, with nothing but a shovel for hundreds of miles. And you know how long it took them to build that? 5 years. 5 years. You know how long it took the duration of building the new town?
Violet just said, I just figured out why his hair is so long. He can't find a hairdresser willing to sit through a conversation. Right? It's like, they see him in the book. They're like, oh, God. You have that Scully-looking motherfucker that believes in the flat earth coming in again. Oh, I hope that we don't have a lot of customers when he comes in. Every time this guy comes in and sits in my chair for a cut, he starts talking, and then, like, the waiting room clears out.
Tappan Zee Bridge, and I'm always going to call it the Tappan Zee Bridge because that's what it is, as far as I'm concerned. It took about 10 years to build that. A bridge. Connecting rock.
There's this belief system that the earth one time believed that the earth was flat. Like, people on the earth were like, way back in the day, I guess maybe in 1841, that they were like, the earth is flat because they didn't have science. But there's actually been proof that way back, like to the Mayans even, that basically people always thought that the earth was a globe. It was kind of a split thing even back then, although more so back then, I'm sure, than today. Like, there were people that believed it, just like there are people that believe it today. But it wasn't as big of a belief system as they make it out to have been. You know? 1841 BC, right?
To White Plains. But, you know, I mean, they whatever. My point is, okay. Are you fucking kidding me? They've been fucking with our history.
Whoa.
They've been fucking with everything.
Safety!
Right from the beginning.
You calm down right now, sir.
5 years to build an aqueduct system for hundreds of miles. 1841, another aqueduct system was built. 1857, the Washington aqueduct was built. And you're believing all of this shit, this nonsense. See, I didn't learn any about this in school.
Here's the thing, though. When things are built, like, there's pictures of it in history. And there'll be like newspaper articles written at the time. The newspaper has been around for ages, you see. So, like, you can go back and find proof that things happened. Okay? They can't really lie to us. There is proof. Lord. Think about that.
I mean, they didn't tell you about these aqueduct systems. They didn't tell you about anything. That's why I got so interested in it. And I asked myself, how could they have built these aqueduct systems? How could they built Grand Central Station back when they said that they did? Because they didn't.
What about the pyramids?
They found it. I'm sorry. Your history's been fucked with.
Oh,
and if
no.
you can't figure that out, look into Flat Earth. Okay? That's just the beginning.
Oh my.
Thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos. Let me be a part of your life.
He still has the outro. Oh man, as if he still does the outro. Why are people vanishing in Dawson's Creek? Oh my god, what happened to Dawson? Is Pacey okay? No, I'm just joking again. The next one is called Life on Our Flat Earth, but life is in quotations, so that's probably not a great sign. You know? I hope you don't kiss your mother with that mouth. He's angry about all those millions of people collaborating to fool him simultaneously. YouTube just exists because we knew that CC was going to use it to upload his Flat Earth videos. So we all decided to, get together and just bug him and try to convince the rest of the world that the Earth has a globe just to piss him off. I promise you. I mean, it isn't flat. It is on a turtle's back, though. Stop hiding the turtle, NASA. Turtle. So yeah, this one actually was from October 3rd.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 3325. Good old number, magic 33. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm kind of disappointed. They haven't really done anything today. Oh, well, except about that shooting in Brooklyn. Oh, that's right. I forgot to tell you. There was another shooting once again in Brooklyn at a bar.
You wanted that to happen?
Who knows? Every day, every single day, they are going to be doing something.
Every day, bro.
Maybe even 3 times a day. Who knows? Well, it is a big country. And there are many states in our country. So there could be something going on right now in your state. But who knows? Doesn't matter. They're just going to do it. Do you remember ever in a time that...
What are we going to do, guys?
I mean, maybe you weren't paying attention. Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but I don't...
Well, damn, Joe, you didn't think about splitting it with me or something? Come on, man. CC is living in the Truman Show. In his mind, it's almost like he is. Like, because CC also believes in the whole NPC thing. Like, so he's like, the world's a simulation. So he thinks that when he like goes to the store, all the other people at the store are all hired actors to convince him that the earth is not flat. You know? So technically, that is exactly what CC kind of thinks in his head. I mean, there was ever anything Truman Show like it's that.
I don't remember ever in my lifetime of anything ever happening at such an erratic speed. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like things will be dead for months and then bam,
What?
daily, every day. And it seems to be around the same time that school starts. I don't know. Could be a coincidence. Who knows?
Well, I mean, sorry to bring it up as a Canadian, but like in the USA, when kids go back to school, every single parent is horrified that their child is going to get shot up. So I don't know. Maybe that has something to do with it.
I don't really believe in coincidences. No, I don't. And let me ask you a question. The last shooting in Brooklyn, that sounded like an automatic weapon. Okay. How are you able to walk the streets with an automatic weapon like that? I don't think they use Uzis anymore, do they? Are Uzis a gun of choice anymore? I don't know. It was when I was a kid. You know, everybody wanted an Uzi. You know, I don't know how many rounds per minute it did. probably went through a clip in like 5 minutes. Who knows?
Why?
Who cares? Doesn't matter. Today's a Friday. I like to give you a little something to think about on a Friday, just in case I'm unable to put out a video for you during the weekend. But
and like none of us can continue our weekends unless Cece uploads that Friday video. Like when he doesn't upload that video, okay, my whole weekend's ruined. It just stops. Nothing happens. I can't do anything. Just lay in bed for the whole weekend. And then the whole week, all the way until the next Friday, just going, man, I got nothing to do and nothing to think about. CC never uploaded his video on Friday. Damn. Hi, Josh. A Hood classic, Flat Earth. That's right. We haven't done it in a while. I didn't realize it's been like 10 months. I was like, oh my, no, that's awful. We need to do that right now.
seems like really I've had no time at all to do anything but on weekends, and it just pisses me off.
All of us.
I'm glad you enjoyed the background little thing. I have to play around with it. There is a way to get my voice in there too, on top of the other videos, but I think that's going to be a little confusing. But I need that. I don't know. I'll figure it out. There's so many things that you can do on this phone, and by the time I figure them all out, it's going to fry itself out, and I'll have to buy another one and figure the whole thing all over again. So it's like, it's endless life.
CZ is just every boomer trying to learn how to use technology. That's all this is.
You're put into this world given a choice. No choices, actually.
What?
No choices at all. This is what Earth looks like. Okay? Round, in space.
Well, okay, but it's not about choice. I thought this was about truth, damn it. Lord! like, see, that's the problem. Is that, like, they're mad because they're like, oh, the schools and the government are this big, giant conspiracy because they taught us that the Earth is a globe. The Earth is a globe. So it would be dumb of them to then give you the choice of believing that or something else instead of teaching you what we know to be true. And yes, that can change. Many things have changed, even since I went to school. When I was going to school, Pluto was a planet. When my daughter goes to school now, it's no longer a planet. I was like, there's 9 planets. My daughter, no, there's not. You know? Lots can change, but it changes because we learn more. We discover more. More science is around us. We're like, oh, wow. You know? So then we go, okay, well, now we have to give that information to the public now that we've learned more stuff. But wouldn't it be silly if in school, if you did like your math class, let's say, and they were like, well, 1 + 1 = 2. But if you want, you can also have the choice of making 1 + 1 = 11. And then it will equal 11. Like how would the teachers then be able to score these tests and be able to figure out if they're actually teaching the school well? Because that's usually what those tests are supposed to be for, by the way. It's not just to test the student, it's also to test the schools, to see what schools, are actually teaching the students what they're supposed to learn. So it's just so strange to me for him to be like, they don't give us the choice in school to just believe whatever we want about things versus them teaching us what's true. Like, what do you mean? Do you imagine that? It would just be insanity all the time. Thank you for subbing. We are many. I'm fascinated by trying to understand what drives this. Narcissism is a great observation. I missed something. We Are Many said, that's it, you're spot on. It's a belief that they're special in the eyes of their God and hundreds of people pulling the veil over his eyes. Narcissism, Maisie? What do you reckon? A little bit. I think you would have to kind of be, in a way. You would at least have to have traits of that to an extent. Just like we talk about like cult leaders that happen. Are they a narcissist? Well, they at least have narcissist traits, And I feel like to believe something like this and to think that you have the truth and everyone is lying to you and you are the main character of the earth, yeah, you would probably need some narcissism for that. And again, I think it's a lot of feeling special because they're going against the grain. Most conspiracy theories are driven by that as well, I like to try to figure out, why do people believe the things that they do? What is it that makes people believe in these things? Especially if they're crazy things that the rest of the world looks at and they're like, no one would believe that junk. We know that that's not real. And then you realize that a whole community actually very strongly, heavily believes it. And you're like, what the hell? And that's kind of what we do here. And especially when it comes to these culty communities. And it's funny because I don't think a lot of people were willing to consider the Flat Earth a high control group until they saw what happened with the final experiment and how the people that went on it and then admitted they were wrong were treated. They were kind of fair game. People were attacking them. They were coming online and saying, hey, you guys got to stop attacking me, please. I get you're mad. So some of that is going on there as well. And it's just fascinating to just try to figure it all out,
Surrounded by a vacuum. And there's an atmosphere.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. That doesn't have a container or anything like that. The atmosphere just magically is held in. But they don't really get into that. No, they don't. They don't really explain that.
It's not magic. It is explained
to you clearly. You see, if somebody...
Okay, no, Stacey, just because you don't understand it when they explain it, that doesn't mean that it's not explained clearly. That just means you, Cece, Chris from Westchester, New York County, whatever. That just means you don't understand it. It doesn't then mean that they don't explain it properly. They've done a very good job of explaining all of these things to us.
Came out and actually said to a kid.
I'm happy with it.
Atmosphere is being held in with gravity.
Oh my, here we go.
Okay. The kid would, with no container at all, holding in gas and holding in everything. Okay. I think the kid would probably
don't hold in your gas.
So they don't teach that. They just give you the ball. Okay. They give you a little solar system. They give you a pen to sleep in when you're a child. A playpen. Yeah, that's right. A little crib.
Well, I was just about to say, not a playpen. Please do not let your children sleep in a playpen. It's okay for a little nap if they pass out in there and you keep an eye on them. But it's been proven that it's not the best sleeping thing. Just don't keep them in a car seat to sleep. I know you just brought the baby home, brought the baby in the house. They didn't wake up and you're like, damn, I really don't know if I should take this baby out of this car seat. Please do. It's actually very bad for their little bodies. And they're supposed to be on a flat, harder surface in order to sleep for their spine, actually. If you keep them in playpens to sleep too much, keep them in the car seats to sleep, very, very bad for them. Very bad. So don't do that. Cribs are absolutely fine. Cribs are what you should be sleeping on. If you've ever noticed, the mattress for a crib, most of them tend to be quite firm. And that's why. It's because it should be for their spines. Cece, you just grew up in like the 60s and everyone is treated like this. You probably up some bait, ate some bait chips, you know? You know? But I don't see what this says about the world.
Okay. Yeah, that's to keep the child protected so they don't roll off the bed or anything like that. But what did they do back in the 40s?
Well, unfortunately, Cece, back in the 40s, they were just co-sleeping. And what they have found is oftentimes babies passed away. Babies did roll off surfaces to their death, which is why we decided a crib was a good idea. That's kind of what happened. And I don't know, the 40s, I feel like we've had cribs for way longer than that. Like, I feel like maybe we need to go back to the 1840s again, CC, for that. They've had cribs, right? Literally, like, for a very, very, very long time. You know? Geez, I didn't know that. We did not know these truths back in 1997. My poor kids. Well, that's the thing, right? You could only deal with the knowledge that everyone knows at the time. So don't feel guilty about it. You were told at that time. There was a time where they said that it was good for kids to sleep in car seats. There was a time when I was very, very young where seatbelts weren't that important. You know? I literally remember like sitting up in the window, just driving down the road. It's fine. You know, I grew up in the country. We used to all sit in the bed of the trucks and drive around. There's a lot of things that we all did growing up back in the day, that looking back on now, it's like, oh God, that was awful. None of us should have ever been doing any of that. You know? So, you know, you look back, you're like, Jesus, that's how it is. Yep, that was my childhood. My mom flicking her cigarette out the car, and then it used to come in on me. Mom, my window's open too. What the fuck? I just heard that you've had that experience. You know, once or twice in the summer when they're like, all right, now we do have to roll down the windows. Because, yeah, no, in the winter, all the windows were rolled up and they would just crack it just a little bit. Right? I even used to smoke in cars back in the day. And back in the day, yeah, there was no law. Like here now, there's a law that you can't smoke in a car with a child under the age of 12. You can actually get like pulled over by the police and get a huge fine for it, and they'll call CAS on you. So like, yeah, things change. And you can't really be hard on yourself because you can only do with what, you know, only work with what you know at the time. And these things often change. That's the thing. As we keep finding out more and more as a society on all of these different things, we try and do better and better with it. But it's just like, I don't know what this has to do with the flat earth. Like, were they lying to us about how we needed cribs? We don't need cribs anymore? Cece is like, down with all the cribs. Have the baby sleeping on the floor. You know, one of my great aunts used to sleep in a dresser drawer. It's like that was an actual thing back then.
30s, the 20s, early 1900s. What did they do with the baby? I don't think there was a little playpen back then. There was probably a blanket on the floor with little toys, stuffed animals. There was no earth or any ball that was given to those children back then.
Whoops.
Okay, everything kind of changed, you know. Babies R Us came out, you know, all these stores specifically for babies.
What?
You know, that have the solar system, that have Earth in it, that have many other things. That...
Are you seriously hating on baby stuff right now? Because it has the solar system? This whole rant is because Cece was just at a Toys R Us, or Babies R Us, and saw a mobile. that had the sun and moon on it. And then he was like triggered right away, had to go to the car. Lord.
Are pertaining to space. It really is amazing how much space you actually learn when you're a child and how little you learn when you're older. Doesn't that amaze you?
Yes, but I seem to be doing it the opposite way as you. But I just did a whole speech about how we learn more, so we try to do better. You seem to be doing it the opposite way, where you're like, we've learned more and we're trying to do better, and I don't like it. Fuck the new way. Let's go back to killing babies in the dresser. That was more fun. Let's do that.
And that's it.
Hell.
That's all the choices you have. Okay, so for like 12 years, you're just bombarded with it, and through high school, basically, and then they stop. You've been indoctrinated. You know that you live on a ball, right? You know you're in a solar.
Well, most places, the education system goes up to grade 12, and then you go off to university or college, in which case then you're usually choosing what you get to study it. College and university is nothing like high school at all. And I've told people this that are like, oh, I don't like college and university. People don't need it, blah, blah, blah. And I find a lot of them never went anywhere after they graduated high school. And I'm like, if you think college and university is exactly like high school, it's not. Think of college as a high school with a lot more freedom where you get to pick to study what you're actually interested in. But it's not like they're like, oh, well, we can graduate these kids now. We've indoctrinated them all into believing that we are all on a globe.
System, you know there are other solar galaxies out there. You know that we live in a universe, okay? And that's what they give you. And that's it. You're now conditioned, okay? Now you can watch movies. You can have the conditioning work further. You can watch NASA. You can watch all these fake rockets.
That's right. He also gets triggered over movies. I almost forgot. And he also uses movies as references and proof. Like, he'll be like, in this one movie, they showed the Earth was flat. Yeah, that's right. Told ya. You're like, Cece, that's a movie.
Go up and turn. They don't really quite let you see them turn because they blast them off above the clouds. But that's what they do. And they crash land somewhere in the Atlantic Ocean or wherever ocean they're by. That's where they crash land. And, the Bermuda Triangle, like, don't you love that? You know, they just invented this Bermuda Triangle out of nowhere and says that a few ships sank here and other things. No, that's where they crash land, the rockets, somewhere around there. And it's cordoned off, just like, that's right, Antarctica. Cordoned off.
Oh, here we go.
All the wars are going on. Everybody's shooting each other. They're all fighting each other. They're all fighting over land. They're all fighting over guns. They're all fighting over religion.
I mean, that's
But
true.
there's one thing that nobody is fighting over, and that is Antarctica. That's right. Yes. Many countries have signed.
Wait, Cece's mad that they're not going to war for Antarctica? Cece's like, enough of the genocide in Gaza. You should be going to war to own Antarctica. All right? What are we doing here? Very weird take,
the
Cece.
treaty. Every corporation signed a treaty. You may not go down there, investigate. You may not walk around there on your free will. You understand? I said that. Free will.
Uh-huh.
Okay? You cannot go down there with a plane of your
And of course, his whole thing about free will is because when you go to Antarctica, you get a guide, okay? And you get a guide to kind of take you around, and it's somebody that knows that land, knows the area, knows all the dangers. That's what it's really for. It's to protect you. Because if you're not used to just walking all over ice, by the way, you will fall on your ass and hurt yourself. There's some areas where there might be animals, for example, and they'll be like, no, like, don't go over there, that kind of thing, right? But they think that this is because, of course, it's a conspiracy theory. So the government has a guide come and meet you and then basically take you to the fake Antarctica. Of course, right?
You can't go down there with choppers or snowmobiles under free will. Okay? No, you cannot go down there. Why? Why is that, you ask? To save the penguins, to save the bears. That's right. That's why you can't go down there. Okay. Well, if you believe that one, once again, I have some swampland in Florida that I'd like to sell you for a reasonable price. Okay. Well, here we are once again. With all this bullshit, and people are, when you bring up flat Earth to people, and they start telling you about planets and all this stuff that they manage to see these things in the telescope, and that's great. That's wonderful. Okay. But the problem is, you don't know what a planet looks like. I don't know what a planet looks like because I've never seen one. I've seen something through a telescope that resembles partially what a planet should look like, but that's a light in the sky. That's all that is. And that's the same for you. You've never seen a star, so you have no comparison. You have nothing to compare it to. All you see is this circular yellow thing in the sky that you call a star, that you call something that's 93 million miles away, okay, that you think it's in space because you've been told that. All right, you have been told that. So nobody knows what anything should look like at all. The only thing we know, and many other things, is that we live on a...
We've already done this before, where I reacted to CC. I have a lot of videos and streams about CC. It's been a while since we've reacted to CC, but before that, I was reacting to him, like at least once a month for a few years. And we've already tried to show CC the images. Not only me, but like every single person that talks about flat earthers on all of YouTube has tried to show CC and explain to CC the images and other flat earthers, because they just don't understand how we're seeing images of the earth and planets.
Flat land, we're covered with something's containing our gases, a dome of some sort, if you wish to call that, a stadium perhaps. Who knows how big this thing is? Who knows how tall it is? That GoPro rocket that they shot
apparently
there,
Steve belongs in that.
there could be another barrier with the dome itself. There could be some other barrier also preventing any rockets from getting through. But then you go back to the Elon Musk thing when he had that thing hovering on the dome to show us that obviously there's water up there, because it looked exactly like what would look like on a boat in an ocean, and there it is in the sky, as big as anybody can see. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows what exactly and where it is and where it starts and how far it is, how big it is, what the length of it is. We don't know these things, but we do know one thing, is that we do not live on a spinning wet ball. We do not live...
See, and I think that's part of the problem, is that if you're going to offer up an alternative belief about the shape of the earth, you should probably have some of this information. And you should be able to tell us then how big the earth is. What is the circumference of the earth? And then you should be able to tell us, like, how big the firmament is, the dome. Like, the part of the issue with your belief system is that oftentimes when you give your proof, it makes no sense. Or it's not enough information. Whereas when I go look at the information about globe Earth, I can find out all of this stuff. I can go and find out how big the Earth is. I can see pictures of it. They can tell me the circumference, all of this stuff, because they've gone and searched it and found all this information. So it's like, well, you can't just show up here, Cece, and be like, well, listen, all right, there is the dome. It exists. But we don't know what it is. or how big it is or anything about it, but you need to believe me because I said so. And that's basically what the whole flat earth community is. It's just a whole bunch of trust me bros and us going, okay, but I don't have to trust them. They show me. They show me the evidence. What the fuck? We don't do trust me bros here.
Live in space, traveling
Or blind faith.
millions of miles, hundreds of thousands of miles per hour, and going around the sun and following it, corkscrewing.
I was telling you guys, ask questions, give pushback. All right, don't ever just accept something that someone tells you, even if it does sound like it could be true. You know, take a minute and just go check it out first. Just be like, I need more info. Always good to do.
Through space and all this shit. We're not doing any of that. Okay? When people fight it, they don't know because they've never witnessed it. You're not witnessing anything but just feeling like you're not moving at all. That's it. That's all. They might want to give you examples of why you're not moving. They might want to give you examples of the Coriolis effect, that it doesn't exist, because it doesn't. And there's not a single sharpshooter out there that takes in account of any Coriolis effect, Coriolis at all, whatsoever. Army doesn't even acknowledge it. Planes coming down, pilots don't acknowledge anything moving below them. All the games.
Remember one of my first videos on CC was me trying to explain aerodynamics. I think I did all right, you know. It was a big feat though for a first reaction to CC. You know, there's a lot of work to go into that. I was kind of like, whoa, this is a big project all of a sudden. And I could probably do a better job of it now, like 5 years later, but it just always makes me laugh whenever he brings up airplanes now. I can't help but think about that. Hello, sweet. Good to see you. Liar, they already knew to do that with World War I big guns. Mm-hmm.
Games have a flat, stationary program that keeps Earth flat and stationary, so you can land that flight simulation thing right onto the ground. It's not moving. There's nothing moving on the Weather Channel at all. No land is moving. The only thing that's moving are the clouds.
Why does he sound like Trump right now?
That's it. Sometimes they go erratic. They're coming in from all sides. I love that when that happens. You want to fuck up the weatherman? Ask him. Ask him. How do you know about these storms that are coming in from California that take days to get over here? When if we're spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, that storm should be out into the ocean. Shouldn't be hitting us.
What?
What is the weatherman going to say? Oh, because I don't give a shit. Okay, it's all nonsense when it comes down to living on this stupid, ridiculous. It's not even possible. Will you please think about it? Think about it. I want you to think about it. Okay. I want you to think about a planet. Yes. Okay. Something you didn't learn in high school. Science never taught you this. They teach you about stars and constellations and all this other nonsense. Science doesn't teach you exactly what it takes to have a planet exist. Okay. All right.
Type of science,
yes, a planet exists. It's formed by rock. So it starts spinning around. Oh, forget about the gaseous planets. Just work on the rocky planets. Okay. It starts spinning around, and all of a sudden, it makes a core and everything like that. All of a sudden, magically, this atmosphere is brought about. You know,
it's not magic.
Trees and other things. You know, breathable atmosphere. Okay. Now.
No. See, this is why I don't like this. No magic. I don't believe in magic. You start telling me magic did something, and I'm out. Okay.
Now the planet is formed.
Remember,
it's formed. And while it's forming itself, remember, it's in a vacuum, okay? In space. A vacuum in space, okay? So all the air, even the little remote amount of air that is formed to make it
more... I'm reading merch that says, you're in a vacuum in space.
Air, whatever. still stays on Earth. It doesn't get sucked out into space or anything like that. Okay, but so now the planet's formed. Okay, that's right. We're going billions of years ahead here. You know, land is starting to form. It's raining. They say that it rains for 1 billion years on Earth in order to fill up our oceans. Billions of years of rain, or 1 billion years, whatever stupid number they pull out of their fucking ass. And then all of a sudden the planet's formed, and somehow or another all this oxygen, all this air is being held in by gravity. So they have to come up with something. Gravity. Okay?
It's kind of crazy to me because it's like Cece has a belief in God. I'm atheist if you're new here. But Cece has a belief in God. And it's kind of funny because a lot of times people that have the belief in God, if they can't explain something about how the earth is formed, you know, they're not understanding the science, or maybe they just don't really know about it. They'll be like, yeah, it was magic, but it was God's magic. God can do amazing things. God can make miracles happen, right? And so for a lot of them, a lot of Christians, that's not a crazy idea that all of these things would happen because God is making it happen. And there's a lot of Christians that do believe in this. There's a lot of Christians that also believe in evolution, but they believe God, you know, made evolution happen. You know, like that is a thing. That is a lot of people believe that. And like I said, if they can't explain a part about it or they don't understand it, they just kind of put it up to being one of God's miracles. But CC's a different type. He believes in God, right? You've seen it in this stream alone. He's talked about how he's a Christian. But it's almost like he won't accept that maybe God just did some miracles. He's like, no, these things could not have happened. They're impossibilities to him. And I just find that very fascinating, you know? But can we tell the rain to just fuck off? Yes. It's called gravity. Like when I eat an entire cheesecake, it was gravity and magic. I made it disappear. There you go. No, it's pronounced gravity. I don't know if I said that right. I tried. You know what the real miracle is here? That Cece was the fastest swimmer.
That's what they have to come up with. They come up with this imaginary fucking
Maybe
thing
it was the hair. It was
that nobody knows anything about. Okay? It's like anesthesia. The doctors don't even know what's in it. They just give it to you. It works.
They
That's
do
why
know
sometimes
what's
people
in
die,
it.
which is really sad because they give them too much. You know what I'm talking about? That's why you have to fast before, or maybe they don't want to clean up.
It is true that can happen. It happened to me, kind of, in a way, when I was giving birth to my daughter, and I literally stopped breathing because I was taking in too much of the laughing gas and whatnot, and they kept upping my drugs, and I left my body for a moment. I've spoken about that before. That's my out-of-body experience. Unfortunately, yes, you can have things happen to you. I have a friend of mine who lost a family member because they went in for surgery, and when they were put to sleep, they had, I guess it was like an allergic reaction is how it was described to them. And that can also happen. And sometimes I've been put to sleep several times, but sometimes people don't get put to sleep, like in their life, they don't take any of this. And then, they go in for an operation later on in life. They don't know that they're allergic to it. And unfortunately, that can happen. It is something that happens way too often. But that's not usually because the doctor gives too much. Now, has that happened before? Probably. And I bet you that doctor was charged with manslaughter. You know what I'm saying? But I can assure you, it's not an issue that nobody there knows what's in it. Doctors and anesthesiologists, which are the ones that actually give you your anesthesia when you're going into surgery, that's their whole job, is knowing about anesthesia. They know what's in it. They know all about it. They know all the side effects. They know that's their gig. Like how my gig is cults, their gig is that, right? So, like, the way he puts it here, again, it's irresponsible to put this information out into the world when you have any kind of audience, even 3 people I would misinform like this, to be like, oh, nobody knows what's in the stuff. Especially right now, we're going through kind of a thing in society right now. Again, I'm in Canada, but over in the US, I don't know what you guys are doing over there with your health department. All right, with RFK Jr., I don't know what's up. I don't know what's going on, but there's some weird things happening. It's just not a good time to be spreading any kind of medical misinformation. Let's put it that way. No time is a good time for that. But right now, in this political climate, especially in the US, it's a very bad time for that. We have the president doing that. You know, as a Tylenol American myself, it's a little bit angering. So I can't help but be like, Cece, no, don't add to this. You know, and again, that's why these belief systems are kind of worrisome, because of people like this existing, because of Christian nationalists existing, because of anti-vaxxers existing, now we have what we have in the US government happening. That is why I've spent 6 years speaking out about these types of communities and telling you all that they're very dangerous and that we should not let them survive. Because the spread of misinformation can be a very, very dangerous weapon, especially when used by the government. Especially when used by the government. And it is one that they have always used. Always used. So that's why I tell you to think critically. That's why I tell you to never just blindly believe someone and have blind faith, and to research everything, and don't have gurus, and don't have parasocial relationships with influencers, and don't do any of these things. You know, make sure you keep your mind intact, and try to make sure that you keep your freedom intact too. We don't even have Tylenol here. We are living in the dark ages. Well, in that case, I guess you don't have any autism there, right, Violet? There's just no autism in South Africa at all. They just don't have it there. That's actually funny. I didn't know that. That's kind of a fun fact, actually, to know. I'm sure there's many places that don't have Tylenol, and I guarantee you there's still autism. You know, I'm just saying. Great example of social contagion. Exactly. That's exactly what we're worried about, right? The founding fathers understood that, and the earth was round. Exactly. There's a reason why the government wrote those documents the way they did, if you look into it. They were trying to stop you guys from letting the church into the state. They're trying to stop the future from ever allowing that, if you actually pay attention to your constitutions and all those amazing documents that the right keeps saying that they've read so much. Yeah, Tylenol is the brand name. It's acetaminophen, but Trump couldn't say acetaminophen, so he gave up after he said it and then asked them if he said it correctly, and they gave him props. He went to say it the next time and then just went, well, basically it's Tylenol. And I'm sure that everyone at the Tylenol headquarters were so pleased. They were probably like, oh, for fuck's sakes. That's why I go to work. I need the actual human connection. That's right. It's good to have it. You have to have it. You do. It's important. Where's that at, Violet? violence in South Africa. But it's funny, though, because he said Tylenol, so now everyone's just joking that it's just Tylenol. So Tylenol gives you autism. I bet it increased its sales, at least among intelligent people. It was free advertising. There was also this big thing about people saying that leftists and pregnant women were downing Tylenol. That wasn't a thing. There were some people that did it as a meme. Okay? Like, there was one guy that, like, was like, I already have autism, so I'm just going to take a whole bottle. And he, like, chewed a whole bunch of them on camera. And that video's been used to be like, the left has gone insane. They're all taking Tylenol, trying to give their children autism. But again, I'm in Canada where we don't get the propaganda. So, like, our news is like, yeah, they're saying this is happening, but really, this is what's going on. So I just wanted to let you know that. He's doing for Tylenol what people did for Bud Light, basically. They're enjoying the sales at the moment. And that's the funny thing, is that I bet you there are people that will go buy more Tylenol just to be like, fuck Trump. We had an Eno in Australia. Eno cured everything. Oh, God. Everything.
Shit, if you die. I don't know. Who knows? It's disgusting. Anyway, I had to throw that in there. See, I lost my concentration. So, yeah, and all this, gravity, that's what they make up. They make up this word gravity. They're just like anything. They can't figure it out. Dark matter. No,
actually, it was more like, they would drop something and it would fall to the floor. And they went, why does that happen anyway? Why is that going on? And then they discovered gravity. They didn't just make it up one day. He acts like they were just like, you know what we should do, guys? We should just tell everyone that there's this thing called gravity. It'd be really fun. And again, as I always say, with the flat earth theory, again, why are we lying to everybody about this? Like, what do we get out of it? What would it do for us? And they could never answer that question. I'm still waiting for someone to really explain that.
That's right. That's more gravity or something. I don't know. Just create. That's why everything's moving the way it is. Okay. So now your planet has gravity.
It's so hard.
Okay. Small infinitesimal amount of gravity that's just right. Other planets have gravity too. That's right. But
see, and this is another thing, by the way, that a lot of Christians that also believe in science and in all this, that they will chalk that part up to God. Like I said, if it's something that they don't really understand, they'll be like, I don't know, God's amazing. He does amazing things. And I'd rather deal with a Christian like that than a Christian like Cece.
They're far enough away not to interfere with our gravity. And the sun is just far enough away to hold us in this Goldilocks position. You are...
Alrighty, guys. Cece has a job where he takes people that are disabled to and from their doctor's appointments. And for some reason, half of his videos are recorded in his work van, which always has me wondering. I'm like, I hope you're on your lunch break for this.
Fucking miracle. The planet is a fucking miracle, isn't it? But yet we're finding them all over the place out there, huh? NASA is. I think they just found one.
That's why it's not,
five light years away or 10 light years away.
See, that's why it's not a miracle, CC, because there are so many other planets that all form the same way. So that's the thing. It's like, why would all the other planets form in that way and be globes, and then ours be different?
That's like Earth 2, did they call them? I mean, this is just such fucking nonsense. I can't believe people buy this Walt Disney World fucking shit.
Right?
It's unbelievable. It is somebody's imagination at work.
Sometimes I wonder if it triggers him, and that's why we get these angry work van vehicle videos. Like, he's going to and from doctor's appointments, and yeah, he's thinking about medicine, science as he's doing that. probably cursing the people in his head for trusting doctors while he's dropping them off. And I've often wondered if that has something to do with why he kind of gets like this. Exactly like this. And the last one we watched wasn't much better. That was today's video. I think he's waiting for a call for another ride. And that's such a funny thing because we have seen him get those calls before, right, Joe? Where he'll be like recording a video and then like the phone rings and he'll be like, oh, I gotta go. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a part of my life. Goodbye. So at times that has happened 100%. Right? So we know he definitely does that at times where he just kind of in between appointments. And I'm like, imagine in between your appointments, you know, you're driving people, probably have like 4 or 5 people you got to pick up and take to an appointment at least every day, right? So you're just doing that. You're probably lovely. I hope you are anyway. Like, I hope he's good to them and nice to them and treats them well and with respect. I'm assuming he does because he's been working here the entire time. And like, I would like to think that if he was a dick to them, then someone would have reported him by now and he would have lost his job. You know what I mean? So obviously he can contain this to some degree to be in society and function as a normal human being. And then in between appointments, he yells at us in his work van.
You. So you believe in complete nonsense of something that can't possibly exist, of things that you know. Just a mere fact that there's a vacuum of space out there holding in nothing with a container is a flag for you to say, wait a minute.
Yes, it did. It very much did. It was, because technically science it disproves religion. I mean, physics disproves that there could be this omnipotent God that watches you at all times and lives up in the sky, and you know, like all science technically disproves it. But there are, like I said, a lot of Christians right now in today's time that have kind of embraced science. Like I said, I would much rather deal with them. I can have a conversation with them. And yeah, it irks me a little bit where they're just like, well, that's just God's miracle, instead of wanting to find out what actually happened. But that's just because I'm a psycho and I have to know why everything is the way it is and how it all works. And I have to go, you know, not everyone's like that. So maybe they're fine with just accepting that as that. But oftentimes then they're not the ones that believe in these weird theories, right? Because they have embraced science. Like, I have some friends that are Christian, but they even believe in evolution. They just believe that maybe instead of making humans, because they're like, Adam and Eve never happened. I know that. That's just a nice story. So they're like, you know, I feel like God, maybe there was animals put on the earth, and then eventually we came to be, you know, evolution happened, basically. And I'm like, yeah, no, that I can get down with you having that belief system. Like, I think if you are going to be a Christian, you should be the kind that is open to science. And if you have to kind of believe God had a hand in science to be open to it, I would much rather you do that than not be open to the science, you know? At least then I can trust that you probably still have a lot of your critical thinking skills working. What happens when you fall into like religions, right? And these belief systems, people lose their critical thinking skills along the way. And then that's how they turn into Cece here, yelling at us in his van about how the earth is flat. Oh, so this is not some prison van he is driving. Makes sense. Yeah, because you know that if it was a prison van, he would surely be in the back of it, King. Let's go! U.S. psychos? Is that what you just said? Or us psychos?
Maybe I should further investigate this, right? Maybe I should.
Maybe you should.
Because I think you need to. Because now we have a UFO that NASA has found. That's right. It's got 3 colors on it. Beautiful. I wonder how they CGI'd that in there. And apparently, the magic number 33 billion pounds. That's what they're predicting it weighs. So this is one big ass ship. All right. You think there was an Independence Day, was that 4 or 3? How many were there ID? I forget. I think they stopped at 2. Was it 2 that they came out with? Whatever it is.
Now, I don't believe in alien life. I don't believe in alien life in the sense of how movies show us aliens. I'm like, I think we got it wrong. But I am open to the fact that there's probably other life forms in the universe. It's an extremely large place. We haven't even explored all of it yet. So, you know, there might be. For all we know, there could be another Earth somewhere. Who knows? And it might also be populated. Who knows, you know? That could be a thing. And I have to say that if they prove these things to me, then I will have to walk my belief back. And that is what you do, again, when you find new information about something. You go, oh, okay, well, now that I have this new information, I'll rethink this. Sweet says, I am the alien. 33 and a third. I think what happened is what always happens. Someone who didn't understand science, who was religious, wanted to turn people from it, like all these zealots and conspiracists do. I believe it was more of, I think that science originally came to be because people were actually trying to prove the existence of God in some form. They wanted to kind of prove that to themselves in a way. And in doing it, they ended up basically creating all the other sciences, which disproves it. I don't know. I'm sure there's life out there just so far away we'll never meet. Maybe, I don't know. There's very little evidence of intelligent life, but we've looked at the equivalent of a teaspoon worth of ocean. And this is what I mean. Like, we haven't even explored all of the world yet, and I'm open to that. You know, do I believe in aliens, especially, like I said, the way that movies show us them? No. I don't think that they're going to be little green guys that come with big eyes. And, you know, like, I doubt it. But I am open to the fact that our world is so huge. We have not explored our universe for sure. So vast. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, so you have to kind of go, you know, I don't know everything. To play devil's advocate, I don't see the disconnect between science and religion. They're not incompatible. I don't think they are either. I don't think that, you know, I believe that, like I said, you can have a Christian belief or any kind of religious belief system and then also believe in a lot of the science. I think you can. It's just you do have to have a little bit of cognitive dissonance going on, I think. And like I said, you have to kind of use God to explain some of it. But I would rather people do that than just full on turn into Cece, you know? Or I don't see why there has to be a separation. Well, I think eventually in science, like I said, like it does kind of disprove God. So you kind of have to ignore some of it, I guess. You know? But at the same time, I could see how that could make sense to people. And I would be willing to accept that people have that belief more than I'm willing to accept that people believe that the earth is flat or that Tylenol causes autism, you know? Alien abduction, don't go up there. Oh, God. Is that a bad subreddit? Do they have stories of alien abduction? Maybe we'll do that next Friday, Joe. The cutoff point is at the end of my subdivision. There's a sign that says dead end, no through traffic. And then you fall off the face of the earth if you keep going, right?
Very last one that they came out with, that was a big-ass mothership, wasn't it? That's the mind of Hollywood for you. But that was a big-ass mothership. I wonder if it's that size. You think that's 33 billion pounds? I don't know. It's all fake. It's all bullshit. It's all nonsense. But get ready, though. It's coming in November.
Well, they do have a square version. There is a square version of the flat Earth. See, the flat Earth community breaks off into a bunch of other sub-communities as well. And there is actually a community within the flat Earth community that does believe that, yes, because they listen to the Bible, right? In Genesis 1 and how it explains, and it says that there's 4 corners, so they believe it is a flat square. Like King is saying. They literally do believe that.
So you better stock up, get your food, get your water. Get into your house and stay in. Because you did it last time.
Oh, no.
See, that was a true test. That was a test of obedience. They wanted to see what type of population would be able to sit in their house, on their ass, and watch Netflix and watch nothing.
It was
while the government paid you
for protection
to do nothing. It's very enticing, though, you know?
Especially if you're not getting vaccinated, by the way. If you're not getting vaccinated, you should want to quarantine. Because if you get sick, it's going to be worse for you than somebody who's vaccinated. It's so funny to me that the people that don't want the COVID vaccine are the ones that also don't want to stay at home. I'm like, oh, but baby, you're going to get sick and then you might die. Like, you're the ones that need to stay home. The rest of us can go out because we got the damn vaccine. Is this another rapture coming? Oh, no. He hasn't brought up the rapture yet, but honestly, maybe that will be next Friday.
I didn't do it. I couldn't enjoy it. But other people did. $1,000 a week. You remember that? See, some people forget about that. That's right. You were paid $1,000 a week to do nothing. To quit your job, but you lost it anyway because everything was in lockdown. And you got paid $1,000 a week for doing nothing but sitting there watching TV. And you had an opportunity. And nobody, I can see.
Now, Cece had to work during this time, I believe. I don't think Cece was staying home because his job is taking people to and from doctor's appointments. And unfortunately, the doctors and the nurses, all of the people in the healthcare type industry kept working. If anything, it was probably very busy for Cece during that time. So I can't help but wonder if he's a little bit jealous that people got to get paid to stay home, which I don't think that that's a fair representation of what it was. It's kind of like everyone had to go on unemployment because their jobs shut down during that time. Like here in Canada, we have something called unemployment. It's like also how we get our maternity leave from work, you know? And so it sounds like the government, like the way Cece puts it, it makes it sound like he's saying the government paid everyone $1,000 to stay in their house so that they can like lie to all of us about COVID happening, you know, because of how he believes things.
He really took that opportunity, or maybe they did. I don't know. Maybe it did make a difference for us flat earthers, for others to understand the truth. It's not joining us; it's just understanding the truth. If you want to say joining us, well, then join the smartest people in the world because we know about this and we know we're flat. We know we're stationary. We know.
Do you think that CC is one of the smartest people in the world?
None of that stuff that they throw out there exists. We know all these shootings and all this other nonsense is just pure fucking nonsense.
Maybe the alien.
That's all it is. It's there to confuse you, to keep you the rest of your life in confusion and thinking. So you're in a nursing home. And then
Flat Earth Dave. Flat Earth Dave, one of the smartest people in the world. Mark Sargent, like the Canadian asshole. Imagine We're in a lot of trouble if these are our world's largest brains. I am not confident. I am not confident in anything anymore now. Jesus Christ. Mark Sargent, David Weiss are the fucking brains of the world. And then Ash Mufara is the Messiah. I'm out. Like, just come take me out already. I give up. I don't want to be on that world. Whatever shape it is, I want off. Not from the US, so we had lockdown, but people worked at no stimmy or whatever the thing was called in the US. Yeah, I don't think we got as much of that either. As much as the US, I will admit. I think that they did pretty good. We did have unemployment, though, that was given to anyone that had to take their job off at that time so that they could still provide for their families and pay their rent, because it was kind of a forced shutdown, right? In the sense that the government did say we have to shut everything down. You didn't really have a choice about it, even though it was for our own good, right? You know? So I think for the rest of us, yeah, like it was like the unemployment, which is what you would usually get if you needed to take time off work. I've taken unemployment for sick leave when I burnt out from being a social worker. You get unemployment for that. Got unemployment sick leave to try and get my brain back. Burnout's a hell of a thing. Thank you for subbing, Fleetwood. So, you know, I believe that it was handled in that way. Most people you get about 80% of your normal pay. You have to prove that you've been working for the year prior. See, that's the other thing, right? I think that they also changed some of those laws to make it easier for people. Because it was like, okay, well, what if you just started working there 6 months ago and then now there's a shutdown? Or what if you started working there yesterday and now there's a shutdown? Like, should you just not get unemployment now? So they removed some of those restrictions so that anyone could receive it. So that did happen here. I do know that. Unemployment was $360 per week plus what the feds put in, which is kind of shit, isn't it? I guess it's okay for being unemployment, but I never get people that are like, oh my God, these people that want to live on welfare. Because I'm like, do you know that here in Canada, you get $560 a month if you're on welfare? Nobody is like, I really want that bag. That's a bag I really want instead of working. Like, it's for emergency situations. You know, even $360 a week is with what else you got from whatever the feds put in is kind of, you know, it's nowhere near what you were making at your job.
That's it. You're done. And that's life. That's it, you know. Monday, you go to work, you hate work, I want to quit my fucking job. Tuesday, same fucking thing, but then Wednesday comes along, it's hump day.
Please, if you are at a job that you do not enjoy, and I understand that lots of people end up having to do a job that they don't enjoy, search for a job that you will enjoy in the meantime. Best time to find a job is when you're working, believe it or not. And nobody should wake up every single day and hate what they do. You know, that does make for a miserable life. And I don't believe that everybody in the world wakes up and goes to work cursing as much as he does. And I don't know what he's so upset about. His job would be kind of sweet.
2 more days until the weekend. You know, it doesn't feel that bad anymore. You know, that's pretty good. Wednesday comes along. You know, Wednesday's finished. Now we only have 2 more days. You know, things aren't that bad. You know, and then you do the whole fucking thing all over again. Over and over and over again. Yeah. And that's your life. Okay? You have some kids in there. You go on vacation once in a while. But that's it. And that's what they want you to do. Okay? That's training.
He says from his work van.
You get out of college, you find a job immediately. You have to. This is no time to do anything. Have kids. Buy the house. Get the car. You know, make sure you buy your wife the Porsche SUV. Okay, she might cheat on you if you don't.
Whoa.
That's how the women are here in Westchester County. So it's very difficult.
Whoa!
County, let me put it to you that way, because most of them, I would say 90% of them, are materialistic, fucking lost souls who, okay, all right.
Cece. Did Mrs. Cece cheat on him? This got kind of dark. Got a little dark there. Why are you so mad at the women in New York, Westchester County?
All right. Tell me this isn't true, girls. Okay? Girls from Westchester County, and this might be for the whole country. Tell me this is not
Why are you talking to the girls? Instead of the women, Cece? Come on.
You hold out and have fun until you're about 30, 35. Yeah, I don't know, maybe fool around with every guy out there, and you never really found anybody. Then all of a sudden you got to wake up, 35, still single, no kids. They start to get serious. So that's looseness that they had back when they were 20. All of a sudden now that they're shut.
Wow.
I've seen it time and time again. It's just hysterical.
Wow.
People are just so predictable, and the programming is so predictable at this point. And you can't quit your job because we all get paid bi-weekly. You're right in the middle of a pay period right now. No, you can't quit. You've already spent all your money. You can't quit when you have no job, with no money. You can't quit your job until you find another job.
Bro, that's like going into black pill territory. So what that is, we call that the black pill. That's all these women doing this and that. Like, whoa. Cece, walk it back a little bit. Calm down.
That's right. So during your workday, you have to look for another job. That's right. And once you get that job, then you can quit your job. But you see how the programming is?
Well, it's not programming. We have to afford to live. Right? We have to pay rent. And we have to pay to keep the lights on, all right? We don't want to be like in 1841 without any fire in the dark, CC. According to you. Before electricity, we just all sat in the dark, We don't want that. We gotta pay for our food. It's fine to bitch about jobs and shit. I get it. That J-O-B. I'm used to hearing those rants. We're used to that over here. But Jesus, CC.
That's all it is. It's all programming. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for reviewing my videos. Let me be a part of your life.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. All right. Got the next one. We're going back in time. This concerns me on our flat earth from the 26th of September. It's back in the work van, That dreaded just overbroke. I love mine. I hope that people love their jobs. Life is too short to not at least be able to deal with what you do every day. Unfortunately, a lot of people do have to have jobs that maybe they don't like. But I do tell people, if you have a job you don't like, do use the time to find another job then. Like, don't just be like, well, I guess that's it. I'm going to be working at this job for 40 years that I fucking hate every day. Because at that point, like, you are doing it to yourself. You have to take some responsibility for your life and the outcome. Right? Like, if that's how you're living life, that's kind of on you then. And I get it. Jobs are really hard to come by right now. So you might be stuck there for longer than you want to be. And that is a very good conversation to have. We can definitely have a conversation about the economy, but again, I don't see what that has to do with the flat earth, CC. Again, it's just because everything's a lie to him, right? Our great-great-grandparents just made babies and slept at night. That's right. They didn't do any farming or anything. doesn't seem to have to do much and is just over broke, right? It's like, what are you talking about, Cece? You're literally in your work van screaming at us, okay? Obviously, your job can't be too bad, sir.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris from New York, Westchester County. It's 9/26/25. That's right, we're actually rolling up to a new month and a new year. So let's all make it a good new year. Today's a Friday, and I'd like to give you a little bit about, think about a Friday. Give you a video too, just in case I'm unable to make a video out for the weekend. While I watch this hornet bounce off my window here. And do you see how insects and, you know, just everyday thing that's out there, you know, reacts? They look like, you know, they're just buzzing around, you know, bumping into things, but yet they build these beautiful honeycombs. We have one at the office, actually. I pointed it out to the girls, you know, that some insurance company or something like that.
Wait, the girls in Westchester County? What are you doing talking to the girls in Westchester County? Cece, I thought they were all just cheap whores.
Like that's near us. And it's like right above their door. It's huge. This hornet's nest. I would, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration. I would say it's got to be about this big. You know, now that probably harvests, I don't know, what, 5,000 bees or something? I don't know. Good luck getting that thing out, because we live, well, not live, but we work out of a 4-story building, so you're going to have to get one of those cherry pickers up there and get a big bag or some gas or whatever the hell they do to get rid of these hornets. I just stick an M80 in there at like 6:30, that's usually when it gets dark, and run. Put a big long wick on it. Anyway. But that'll get you stung, okay? Now you have to do it the proper way, all right? That's right, guys. Oh, these fucking NPCs, man. You know, they know nothing. You know, I mean...
Yes,
they
here he is.
know nothing but regurgitate.
I was waiting for him to mention the NPCs. We've gone through like 3 videos. He hadn't mentioned them once. I was getting worried. I was like, did we not have a rant about the NPCs tonight? How bizarre. He's showing them his honeycombs.
Stuff that they learned in school, and that's all they know, and I feel sorry for them, because that's the only defense that they have. They haven't done any research. They haven't gone out with a camera. They haven't done any measurements. They haven't done anything at all. All they do is regurgitate shit. I was talking to this guy at a bar.
Well, that's a great
I had dinner with my family. We had a great time.
Yeah, no, when I want to get a good take, that's where I go, to the bar. That Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, Cece.
We usually don't really go out to eat dinner because, as you know, I like to cook. I think going out to dinner is a waste of money because it's usually piss poor food for high...
His poor wife, though. Like, he seems like such a treat to be married to, you know? Making flat earth videos in the kitchen, pissing her off. Like in my intro there. Everyone loves that clip of his wife coming in, telling him off. Not ever taking her out. Can't even take his kid to the movies without making it about the flat earth. That was another clip. I gotta add that one to the intro, actually. I had a few of them. I think we have some from tonight we should add. What have you done, Cece, other than regurgitate, you doofus? Very good point. I mean, he's technically just regurgitating what the flat earth people on Facebook say all the time, right? Like, there is no science behind the flat earth. The only research into it is like their flat earth apps that they have, right? I haven't been to a bar in over 15 years. My last time at a bar was at my honeymoon in Mexico. I haven't been to a bar since either. Not a big fan of the bar scene anymore, you know? That was fun when I was like 21. She probably loves when he goes out in that van, probably. She's like, oh, thank God. Quiet house. Take myself out to eat.
high pricing is
Hi,
this where I
Sheree.
live. And I just brought up flat Earth with him. I'm just sick and tired of it at this point. I suggest you don't do this in the future because it will just trigger people at this point. I mean, they're triggered about so many things now. Every day something's going on with politics or with a shooting or a stabbing or somebody killed this, somebody killed that. The leftist is here.
I'm laughing because he's like, went to the bar, and then he says, I don't suggest doing this. So I guess it didn't turn out very well for him. Who would have ever thought?
They're shooting at us and all this stuff, all the crap the media is feeding you. It's all there to keep you confused, and that's all it's there for. Okay? If you were on an island...
I will say, the one thing that I do agree with CC on is that the media is awful, and that we have way too much propaganda from all sides of politics. I'm not talking about one over the other in this case. I'm talking about everything. There's just so much propaganda. It got to the point I can't even watch the news anymore. I don't watch the news. I do independent research about everything myself, where I seek out the information from sources that are not on either side because I am in the center and I don't trust anybody. As we know.
Somewhere sitting there making yourself a nice fresh crab that you just pulled out of the water on that nice campfire that you just made, you wouldn't even know what the fuck is going on. But the mere fact that you turn on the boob tube, the bullshit tube, I want to call it, you're fed with all of this complete nonsense. This just garbage. That's all it is. Garbage in, garbage out. That's all it is, and that's all it's there for. You just turn that thing off, you don't pay attention to it, you ignore it, get on with your merry lives, you wouldn't know what the hell is going on.
I guess I would think it was worse.
Okay, just for a quick example, okay? All right, now you have blue team and the red team, whatever, whatever you want to call them, who the fuck cares? It doesn't matter. But you see what's happening? We put up with 4 years of that bumbling idiot Biden. Did any of us do anything? Did any of us give a shit? Actually, I found it quite amusing to see a politician just wither away to nothing over a 4-year period. Because when he first started, I mean, he was pumped up on something. I don't know what the hell he pumped these politicians up with, but it's quite a cocktail because it keeps you going for, during the debates for a little while. But then you just end up falling apart. But us, okay? We didn't do a thing. We could kind of just care less, and as I said, I found it quite amusing.
We need to get
but now,
of
the
it.
Trump's in there. Everybody's going wild. There's shootings. There's stabbing. I mean, it's unbelievable. Pink-haired women are coming out of nowhere with complete nonsense, and I mean, it's the percentage of.
Wait, is it not blue hair anymore? Now we're hating on people with pink hair. What's going on? What's going on? Must pump them full of that Tylenol.
Of these people are like 2% of the population, and meanwhile, oh god, you know what? No. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not going to distract myself. I am not going to talk about it because this concerns me. When people tell me that I'm spinning, corkscrewing through space at 66,000 miles per hour and going faster than the speed of sound while I'm spinning on this earth and I feel absolutely no movement at all whatsoever, this concerns me. When people tell me that they see a curvature when they go on top of a mountain and they can see the curve of Earth, or when they're actually in a plane, they can see the curve of Earth, this concerns me.
Well, have you climbed a mountain to see if you could see it? You could always do that.
When people tell me that they see meteors come down and explode and hit Earth, when we've never recorded a single one, even though there's billions of cameras out there who have captured pretty much every single thing you could possibly imagine, down to a walrus having a baby, this concerns me. When I hear people tell me that they feel like they're spinning, I'm like, what? You feel like you're spinning? Like, you really are out of your mind. You see, that's the funniest thing I heard. That was the other day's conversation with this guy.
Oh, no.
Who, by the way,
the
is
bar?
definitely an NPC. This concerns me. He knows my channel too, so look forward to seeing his comments. I'll tell you, I'm not really sure what his handle is on YouTube, but you'll be able to see it. He's gonna do something stupid.
How do you know? What do you mean?
When people tell me they know the curvature of Earth and they give me some made-up equation, when we all know as flat earthers, and we've been taught this too, that A equals MC squared, 8 inches per mile squared. Oh, let's get into that too with Einstein's fake, bullshit relatively, quotation that he became so famous for, which makes absolutely no sense. E equals MC squared, that's bullshit, nonsense, maths, come on, guys!
Wait, why?
When people tell me that architects take into account that they, when they build a bridge of the curvature of Earth, this concerns me.
Why? You want to fall off the bridge?
When people tell me that they see UFOs in space, this concerns me.
That concerns me sometimes. Yeah.
When people tell me that stars are not little lights in the sky, and they give me equations and mathematical bullshit, jumbo crap that they learned in school.
Wait, math isn't real?
And all they're doing is regurgitating stuff. I've never even bothered taking a camera or anything to look at these objects in the sky, which are just an amazing light show. This concerns me. When people tell me that nothing's made up, everything is true, and we go back and tell them one simple little fact like, how does a toilet work on the ISS? And they come back and they try to give me an explanation of nonsense of how this actually works.
But how do you know it's nonsense just because you decided so? Right? Like, why are you asking questions? And then when people give you the answer, you're like, well, I don't want to hear it. That's nonsense.
With 8 people on
That's
this
not intelligent.
thing, supposedly spinning around Earth, and they spend how much time do they spend? I think she spent one woman was 666 days up there. That's beautiful. I love those numbers. Or was it 333 days? I'm not really quite sure. It could have been one of the two. Who knows? But this concerns me. When people tell me you can take a shower on the ISS without blowing up the whole electronical system.
What?
Or brush your teeth with water spouting about with all these wires hanging out and electrical outlets here and electrical outlets there, and they accept this as reality. This concerns me.
Well, Cece, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize that every time that you took a shower in your house, your whole house blew up. I mean, is that why you're recording all these from your van instead of the kitchen? That's just a stupid thing to say, Cece. Like, you don't understand that the wires and the technology would be protected in a shower? They built the shower to be waterproof so that the water doesn't get on the... But that's too hard for your mind to understand?
Okay.
That honestly, Cece, that concerns me.
Back to the stars, of something else that concerns me is when people tell me that they're different sizes, when we all know that we can look at these stars and see that they're all the same size. This concerns me.
Oh, they're not.
Everything concerns me at this point. It really is remarkable, I mean, the ancient civilizations of the architects that were out there that built these amazing buildings,
In the shower,
and
right?
people buy this.
Surely
Oh
not.
yeah, we built that when we were in horse and buggy, and while we were sitting in a fucking log cabin with a fire and candles to illuminate our night.
Wait, so you do know about fire before electricity? Well, what the hell was today's video about then? Lord.
This concerns me. Okay, that really does concern me. Building the reservoir, a pipeline system, 278 miles, all the way up to Shokan Reservoir in the Catskill region, or wherever the fuck it is. It's not Greene County, Columbia. Whatever county it is, it doesn't make a difference. We're talking hundreds of miles of pipeline built to each lake, by the way, each reservoir. That the whole thing is powered through, well, they say gravity, but we're going to say buoyancy and density. You know what I'm saying? Forget about the word gravity, because that's fake. That's bullshit. Nobody's been able to even prove that, except the only top scientist...
No, like Cece's floating around right now.
...that could was dropping his mic. And he's a fucking comedian, too. Oh, it's great. You love it. You see, that's what they have to do. They've got to get... like 5 scientists, that are, I mean, one is just dumb as a box of rocks. Don Petty, holy shit. Have you heard his explanation of how you...
What's dumb? I'm glad I'm here with all the other 11 people. I'm glad you are too. Thank you for joining us. I think it's fun to laugh at Cece. People who follow ridiculous conspiracies end up helping hide the real conspiracies that end up being true. Sick of it. Not wrong. Not wrong. We've been talking about the flat earth the entire time. Maybe you're new here. Been streaming for over 2 hours. At the start of this, we went over the final experiment and the aftermath of it. And this is Cece, Chris, from New York, Westchester County, coming to you on our flat earth. And if you are familiar with the flat earth community, or those of us that react to it, you would be familiar with CC Chris from Westchester County, coming to you from the flat earth. And CC here likes to go on tangents about everything. So, it's fun. It's fun to hear it. Here we like to look at belief systems and why people believe what they believe in, how people get manipulated, that kind of thing. So that's what we do here. Cece's fun to react to. My community enjoys him. He's quite a character, quite well known in these spaces of people that react to Flat Earth. I didn't react to him in a long time, and I was like, we need an update, You're as wrong. That is for the shout out. I don't know what that means. Sorry, thanks for the shout out. You're welcome. It's not really a shout out. I don't think it'll do much for you, since I only have 11 people watching. What do you guys think of flat Earth? The Earth is not flat. Right? How do satellites go around a flat Earth? That's a good question. Maybe Cece will let us know. Joe says he's my favorite FLERF. He's a lot of people's favorite FLERFs. That's why we react to him.
Flush a toilet on the ISS? That's great. He sounds like he's talking to a 5-year-old.
And don't get mad at me, because Cece's video entitled "This Concerns Me on Our Flat Earth" isn't just him sitting here discussing the flat earth. That's not my fault. Go tell him that he needs to stop going on tangents and keep it to the topic at hand.
As a matter of fact, he sounds like he's 5 years old. How does a person like that become someone that's involved with NASA? The military. Every single one of them.
What? Wait.
I don't think he's military. Yeah, he's got to be military.
1 second. I'm trying to keep up with the war here, too. So now the guy at the bar was involved in NASA? Wow, what a turn of events.
If he was supposedly in space, right? And then we have all these proofs that there is no space, that the Van Allen belt cannot be broken, that you can't go through it. Then what the fuck happened in 1969? People, why can't you wake the fuck up, okay? And look at the shit. I mean, we're in 2025. That's 10 years since they let out Flat Earth, okay? 10 years. 10 fucking years. And these people are still fucking asleep. Because I am putting the fucking wall down at this point. I'm putting the drapes down. I'm saying, fuck you. If you can't look into this at this point, you're a fucking NPC or you're being paid to fight against Flat Earth. And that's it. That's
You already established at the start of the stream that I'm a millionaire because of my content. NASA pays me well.
Bottom line. I don't give a shit what other people say. That is it. This
so
is
bad.
true. Fight the Flat Earth. There's nothing to fight. There's no proof. There's no evidence of fucking a ball. Nobody can prove it to us. There's money on the table. Hundreds of thousands of dollars of money, cash, on the table to prove to us we live on this fantasy land that we grew up with and that we were told all of our lives, and nobody's been able to prove shit. All we have done.
I have explained it all in detail in the past. Tonight, we're just taking it easy to laugh at the crazy beliefs of Cece.
Is proven everything that this ball does not exist that you live on. We are a flat, stationary land.
Oh, I wanted to see
that
my
doesn't
ball.
exist as you think it does. There is no space. Those lights up there are flickers in the sky. There's water above. There's something covering us, and there's more land. It's simple. See, when you take space out of the equation, it makes things so simple, doesn't it? No meteors. No other planets, no other aliens. Well, aliens are true in a way, but they're not from space. They're from distant land. They might look like us. I don't know. All I know is at some point, the Antarctica, it's like a puzzle, makes some sort of tunnel that you can get out of this area into that area, and they know how it works because they've been working on it for 50 years now. When they finally figured out that they were covered with something and that we're flat and stationary, that there's no space, that every space agency out there is fake, and it's all under the umbrella of NASA, which is under the umbrella of the people that are running the world. You're talking about $65 million a day. Why would they?
I know. Why would we be spending all of this money and lying about this? Just to trick you, Cece, and a select few people. Why? I know, it really doesn't make sense, does it? It's craziness.
Give up $65 million a day, okay? What company out there makes that much money? Do you know how much money is at stake here? Do you know how much is at stake? This is why they're hiding it from you. It's all because of cash. It's all because of control. It's all because you have to be controlled. If you wake up, and billions of us wake up, that's the end of their life. That's the end of their civilization. Do you want the tables to turn and have our civilization end, or do you want their civilization to end? That's a good question. A question people should ask themselves.
Wait, what?
While they're trying to prove that they live on this ball. Okay? Because what you're doing is, you might think you're going against Flat Earth, but you're really not. You're going against civilization. Our civilization.
You are.
That's who you are going against. Us. We're trying to save you from becoming trained.
Well, I'm trying to save your community from looking dumb.
So what's the point, you know? I mean, what is the point? Why can't these people just get out of this zombie effect that this has created for people? Forget about the NPCs. I know they're out there. There's no way of helping them. What happens when, Flat Earth does come out and people actually do wake up and there's enough of us now, at this point?
But if everyone who doesn't believe in the flat Earth is an NPC, CC, that is an NPC working for the people that, NASA, apparently, because they're the only space agency in the entire world. There aren't any other ones, just NASA. And of course, they'd be paying people in other countries like myself over here in Canada for this. Like, just think about it. Why? Why would we all be doing this? And the NPCs would never wake up. So there would never be a time then where people would all wake up about it. Because you believe that everyone who believes in it pretty much is an NPC. So, like, what? You think that you're going to flick a switch in a government building somewhere and it's going to deprogram all their minds? That's just not how that works. Yeah, that all sounds legit in terms of the undeserved power of a lot of governments, but that doesn't equal flat Earth. Literally, not one person who believes in flat Earth has ever been able to prove it. Exactly.
What happens to those NPCs? Are they short?
Anyway, it was disproven in December because of the 24-hour sun, Antarctica.
Work it and they just and they just fall on the ground like a robot? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm just fed up with trying to explain to people that everything is fake. It's all fake. Well, thank you for subbing. I thank you for reviewing my videos. Let me be a part of your life.
It's all fake. It's all fake, and Steve's very concerned. He's very concerned. Now, this next one is a little bit of a doozy. Oh, yes, it is. As you can see, we're staring down at the ground. This isn't the moon, it's the ground. Hello, Baron. Good to see you. And this one is called Thank You, Greenberg Police Officers on Our Flat Earth. And when this video went up, which, hold on, give me a second, I'll tell you exactly when it did. When did this video go up? July 13th. Exactly a month after my birthday, So July 13th, this video went up. And when it went up, Joe shared it in our Discord. And I was like, what the hell is he doing? What is this? This is a little bit upsetting. So just get prepared.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 7/13, 2025. Okay. And I just want to show you the people that are here that instigate crap. That cause chaos and mayhem. Like, let's take, for example, this guy right here in front of Wendy's in Elmsford. Okay, so he's just talking on the phone, and he's been arguing with somebody supposedly on the phone for nothing. Oh, now he spots me. He's not even really talking to anybody. The minute I walked up to him, he walked away. And he's just going to walk around there for 2 hours to, like, kind of just... He's yelling and screaming about bullshit, about nonsense. There's nobody even on his phone. Who's paying this guy?
Number one, I don't know how CC knows for a fact that there's nobody on his phone. Okay? But let's say that there isn't somebody on the phone. Let's say that you see somebody in public and they appear to be talking to someone on the phone, but you see their phone's off or something. Maybe they're struggling with mental health issues. I think it's a little bit insensitive and kind of gross to then take out your phone and start recording this guy and then making all of these accusations about this guy. He has no clue that CC is recording him. He doesn't know. And CC says, oh, well, he walked away from me. So that means he's not talking to anyone. Maybe he's having a private conversation. Cece, you said he was arguing with someone. He could be arguing with his girlfriend, his boyfriend, and maybe he doesn't want you to hear what he's saying, you know? You don't know why he's pacing back and forth, and I've seen his arm move around a bit. But, like, I'm Italian. You should see my arms moving around while I'm sitting here talking. I'm Italian and French, all right? I knock shit over. I'll be recording something, and you might hear in the background, boom! And it's because I'm talking with my hands, and I knocked my pop over again, okay? That shit happens to me all the time. Some people just are animated, and they just talk with their hands and their body, you know? Like, they act out what they're saying. I'm kind of one of those people. It's the theater kid in me as well. So it's very rude to then, like, record this guy from afar, too, by the way, so he has no clue what's going on. And then be like, this guy is an NPC. He's not talking to anyone. Like, it's just, the whole thing just gives me gross vibes.
Who is paying this guy to do this?
Who's paying him?
Now that he's there he goes. He's arguing about nothing. He doesn't even know what the fuck he's arguing about. You see how we go over to him and say something, but I...
Baron says he's talking about that creepy old guy across the street filming him. He's like, babe, I don't know. This guy with white hair came up to me, tried to talk to me about the flat earth. I walked away from him. Now he's recording me and saying I'm an NPC. It's really weird. Us Scots can be pretty animated too. That's right. That's right. CC planted him there.
don't want to there's a family here and they're just getting a meal from Wendy's. All right, but we got some guy over here just yelling and rapping along and bullshit.
I hope you recorded this before you went and got the meal and that it's not like getting cold in your car. Like your whole family's meal's just getting cold in the car while you take a minute to bitch about this random guy having a phone conversation on the street.
Shitting along, disrupting peace. You see, now that's what the administration has done. They want to break apart families. They want to break apart our America. Okay? Our America doesn't have something like this.
And you know what will really break apart America? This random guy on the street here on the telephone. Can you believe that the government's pulling this shit, guys? The fuck is Trump doing here?
Okay. Oh, yeah. What the hell is that box? Well, that's an electronic box for wires. God knows what the hell that is. Who knows what the fuck this is? And who knows what the hell that is? That's a burner, I think. when they turn it on, it'll crisp us all. But that's another video. Okay. Now, I don't eat fast food. I think fast food is disgusting. And
didn't you just say you were going to Wendy's? The fuck?
It's poisonous. When I have to relieve myself, I will use one of these joints because they're always open. But during COVID, they weren't. Everything was in lockdown during COVID.
Well, he's never going to get over it.
Okay. So this guy's been on the phone now for, I don't know, maybe about 30 minutes arguing with somebody.
You've watched him for 30
If that
minutes?
cell phone is even connected to anything, I would love to know.
What?
And he's just sitting on the corner. This is Elmsford. Okay, I mean, it's like putting an acting show on, isn't it? I mean, it really is hysterical. You know, Hollywood, call this guy, there he goes. He's putting an acting show on. It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. Power. If I was to play a song right now, his mimics would probably go along with the song perfectly. He's not talking to anybody. He's not doing anything. He's just there to disrupt everybody. You see, she's annoyed with that. Sorry to have you on my video, but I'm just trying to make a point here. Okay.
Yeah, she may have been annoyed with it for a brief second, Cece. But you notice how she just kind of looked at him for a split second and then she just kept on walking and went on with her day. That's what normal people do in this situation. They don't then take out their phone and start recording the person, accusing him of being a government-hired NPC. Like, Lord. This video is like, it's 6.5 minutes long almost. And then he makes a statement of he's been doing this for half an hour. And I'm like, so have you just been like creepily watching this guy for the last half an hour before you decided to like get your phone out and record him? Can this get any more creepy?
It's just disrupting America.
No!
America itself.
That's it, guys. No more phone calls. All right? If you live in the U.S., you're not allowed to make phone calls anymore, especially when you're out on the street. Cece says you're all disrupting America. How dare you?
That's all he's doing.
He's smiling now.
He's not getting any nice conversations at all. I don't want to take this guy.
Oh, why did you pan away from him when he started smiling? And then wasn't as animated, Cece? Because you're trying to paint him out as some kind of maniac NPC on the corner talking to nobody. And for a moment there, he looked more normal, I guess, than he did the rest of the time. I don't know, by your standards. I don't have standards to that. So.
Okay.
Oh, the bricks. Very nice. Oh my god, I'm getting tasty.
See, he's just trying to disrupt everything. You see, people are paid to do this.
Disrupt
This is a
what?
person that is paid to do this.
I don't know what could be like not more disruptive other than being on your own phone conversation in your own world for a moment. Like, I don't see how he's disrupting other people or people maybe that walk by like, oh, wow, that guy's on the phone. Yeah, but I think that most people are pretty used to people being on the phone these days. I still find it a little weird when people have headphones in their ear and they walk by me on the street and it looks like they aren't talking to anyone. It takes me a second to be like, oh, they're on a phone call. Okay. But maybe that's just because I used to work with people with schizophrenia. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of worried sometimes. You know, I'm like, who's this person talking to right now? But I don't take out my phone and start recording them and then post it to the internet. That would be awful. NPC aggro. Who pays him? How do I apply to take fake calls and disrupt the place? Right? That sounds like a great job. I think I could do it too. Like, where do I go and hand in my resume for that? I mean, I just have to act crazy on a street corner? Well, we all know I could do that like a pro. So, where do I go to apply for this? It's just so weird. And again, I'm like, this doesn't really have much to do with the flat earth CC. Like, he thinks if he can prove that people are NPCs, then that proves the flat earth. Because why would they have NPCs unless they were all lying to him about the shape of the earth? Of course. Then it's like, no, these things aren't connected in that. Like, that's not what that means. That guy is outside, not bothering anyone, CC. Very good point. I guess it would be much more disruptive if he was inside an establishment talking on the phone. Most people do go out. That's why I say, like, most people walking on the street, they see someone on the phone, they don't really care anymore. I mean, yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, it was a little weird to see that, and even the early 2000s. Like, we didn't have cell phones when I was in high school. I got my first cell phone when I was in college because people just didn't have cell phones back then. So back then, when cell phones first came out, it was a little bit jarring to be like, oh, wow, someone's just having a conversation right there on the sidewalk. That's craziness. But nowadays, it's quite normal. So I don't think he's bothering anybody, and it would be much more disruptive inside.
And there'd be many others.
Do you like all these people
That's
are
all they
working
do. Saurus,
We see the script right there.
you fucking bastard.
What?
Please calm down a bit. Still on the phone though, right? Is he still on the phone? Let's see.
Wait. Why?
I can only imagine
What are
what's
we
going on in
doing?
the city right now. Oh, yeah, he's still on the phone.
Yeah, and the police just drove by. I don't know if you caught that or not, but the police just went by. And if he was being disruptive and a problem, I'm sure that they would have noticed.
Well, the sarcasm, I mean, with the phone's fine. Oh, no, there's another phone call coming in, right? I guess it's a never-ending phone call. Now he's on speaker. I love it when people do this. You know what I love? I love it when people take their phone and they put it on speaker.
Whoa.
You know, and like annoy everybody. Like, I want to hear your phone.
Okay, well, I don't want you to record your nostrils. Why are you recording yourself this close? I don't like it when people record their faces this close. That's what I don't like, CC.
Fucking conversation. You see, a phone should be in the ear.
Back it up.
See, that's what a phone was.
Ah!
That's what it's originally meant for. Not for me to hear your conversation on a cell phone at all. I mean, this just pisses me off. All right, let's go back. I just, I have to do this. I have to show people the nonsense that's going on.
Oh my God.
In front of everybody.
Looks
Hi,
like-
how are you? Good, you're parked all right. Oh, and he's gone? Oh, look at that. He mysteriously disappeared.
He didn't just fuck off.
Well, he's not in the restaurant. That's not right.
Off. You're not pulling that shit with me, sir. No, you didn't. You didn't just try to be like, and then he just magically disappeared. He obviously turned the corner or went in somewhere. Fucking Jesus Christ. As if you just did that. Oh, and now he magically disappeared. Again, not magic, CC. You seem to think a lot of things are magic that are very easily explained. And yeah, maybe he got picked up. He could have been on the phone waiting for a ride. I don't know what he was doing because I'm not nosy like you, CC. I don't walk by people on the street and then go hide behind a corner somewhere and start recording them. Asking people what we think they're doing. That's weird. This is weird behavior. This is when it's like, all right, CC, I think we got to reel this in a bit. You can't be recording people on the street like this, doing this. This is not okay.
He's gone now.
Stop it, Chris.
Okay.
Up with the road to the Lord. This is your worst video ever. This is your worst video in the entire world. Worst video ever was that one. Just for no reason. Just to harass some random person on the street. CC, you need to delete that video. Can you please just delete that video? And if you delete the video, I'll remove that portion from this live stream so that this poor man isn't anywhere. Other people probably reacted to this, though. I don't know. But Lord, don't do that. That was just shit. That was just a shitty thing to do, CC. It didn't prove any point about the flat earth or about NPCs. It just made you look like a complete asshole. That's all it did. Honestly. Just don't do that to people. That's just a shitty thing to do. I don't like it. Anyway, on to the next one. Enough of that. I had to show it to you because I just remember watching this back in July when it was posted and being like, what is this man doing? Oh my God. And I've wanted to do this live stream ever since. I haven't had the time. So here I am.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 3:28, 25. Today's a Friday. I like to put a little video out on a Friday, just in case if I'm unable to put a video out on the weekend. A couple things to think about, and this is actually on my...
Do we not record ourselves driving? You know, I just don't think it's a great idea. But I also don't drive, so...
channel that has been running now for close to 10 years. Not quite 10 years yet, but close to 10 years. But it doesn't matter.
It does, though. See, and this is the problem, Cece, is that you're so badly researched about everything, as you're telling everyone that you've done your research and you're the truth teller and blah blah blah. Like, if you're gonna bring up something, can you please spend a few minutes just like Googling it first? Like, find out how long it's actually been. Don't just come on here and be like, oh, well, I don't know, might have been 10 years. I don't know how long it was. Because then I go, oh, well then, why would you fucking know anything else about it? If you couldn't even be bothered to know that.
Every real question that I put out there, like, for
It is
example,
against the law there?
How?
Oh no, that's not good. Well, it's a good thing it's against the law. That's all I was saying. I should probably... I mean, it's not good that it's against the law and he's like doing it, actively recording it, and then putting it on YouTube. That's what's not good. I am glad that there is a law there. I don't know the laws about that here. I don't drive. And my husband would never record himself driving. For what? So, yeah, that's not an issue. But that's not good for Cece, is it? You should probably stop doing that. Because eventually some troll is going to want to do something about that.
The weatherman can tell you about the weather and when it's going to come. And
not
exactly
the weatherman again, the weather.
From a storm that's brewing in California, which is 3,000 miles away from us.
Oh, no.
Okay. Now, remember, we've been told that the Earth revolves, spins 1,000 miles per hour.
Yes, it said spinning with all one.
You'll see that the computations that your weatherman is giving you when the storms, even in the Midwest, or I mean in the middle of the country, should be wrong, inaccurate. And at that point, they're giving you a forecast of 4, 5, 6, 7 days. The spin of Earth, unless I know what it is. Shit. You know what? It just came to me. That's right. Here it is. This is the answer. Why, guys, why haven't you thought of this? You know what? Because we're spinning so fast, it takes 4 or 5 days while we're spinning that they're putting that in. Yes, I see. I'm seeing it now. They're putting that into the equation. Okay, so we're spinning so quickly at 1,000 miles per hour, and the storm's coming at us from California. Okay, and they can pinpoint accuracy. Tell us when that storm's going to hit us. 9 p.m. Monday morning. Monday evening. Okay, that's when the storm's going to hit. So that's what it is. I see, but I bet if I really do the calculations on that, and I'm forecasting something 4 or 5 days, that storm should be off in China, should be blown apart with the wind and the spin of Earth. Weather would not exist if we lived on this spinning fucking wet ball that people think of. These are delicate.
Now, do you know what they're doing right now? That's really bothering me. They're doing it all over social media. Because I obviously follow a lot of the Flat Earth accounts on X and Facebook, and a lot of these conspiracy theory things I'm obviously keeping an eye on. I like to see why people believe silly things. And what the conspiracy theorists are doing right now, which I'm scared is gonna, Cece's gonna bring it up at some point, is they're recording the sky, because right now the government in the US has been shut down, right? And they seem to think that the sky is more clear right now than it was when the government was working. And this is providing proof to them that the government controls the sky and puts clouds in the sky, basically, is what they're saying. Like, the government puts the clouds there. The government's been shut down. There's no clouds. And they've all been recording, like, these videos of the sky and going, see what happens when the government shuts down? The sky is more clear. So in our next Flat Earth video, we'll be taking a look at that, I'm sure.
Clouds, okay? These are gaseous clouds holding lots of moisture. Very easy to break them apart. Questions like gravity.
Oh, Lord.
Nobody can answer that for us. Why? It should be a simple thing. It's an everyday thing. This is an everyday, this should be like simple freaking nursery school shit at this point, but nobody can pinpoint what gravity is. No matter how many fucking degrees you have, nobody can tell us what it is. Nobody can tell us how gravity exists in space. How gravity exists without a magnetic core spinning. What is the size of an object in order for it to have gravity?
Well, that's the problem, Cece, is that space doesn't have a core that gravity can exist in. The Earth has a core. Okay? Space is open. So that's why it doesn't have gravity. Like, that's one of the main reasons why there isn't gravity there. It's because you do need the point of gravity, right? But you need that. In space, that doesn't exist. It's just open sky, if you will. And I know that's really hard for you to understand, but could you at least try? Like, you've been doing this for years, man.
How big does it have to be? Okay, I understand that was yesterday's video. It doesn't make a difference. It's think about it Friday.
Think about it Friday.
How big does it have to be?
Without any thinking.
Okay. Why is it that the gravity from the sun, which is holding on to Halley's Comet, okay, for all of these years, it comes around every, 76 years or something? I got to see it. It's holding on to that, but it's ignoring everything else. It's ignoring the asteroid belt, right? Do you remember the asteroid belt? That was like, I guess they called that a failed planet. So if space actually existed, and all of this out there is being held in by the gravity of the sun, okay, the asteroid belt, we should be getting fucking meteors that shouldn't even exist. Because all of the asteroids would have come to Earth at this point after 4 billion or 6 billion years. Well, 4.5 billion years, if you want to be exact. Because people like to correct stupid things that these scientists come up with stupid numbers, which they have no basis around, and they can't prove it. Just like, I mean, when they're carbon dating shit, do you really believe that? Do you really believe they can carbon date something that's 60 million years old? Really? Guys, come on. Wake the fuck up, okay? Wake the fuck up and understand why all of these lies exist. Why all of these lies are there to reinforce this stupid Walt Disney World that they've created for you.
Walt Disney World?
You still believe it, obviously.
Well, let's talk, Stacey.
Well, most of the people that look at me are flat earthers. Look at my videos of flat earthers anyway, but I'm talking to the people that are just... But most of them are bots. And who cares? It doesn't make a difference. I don't really give a shit anymore. You know, I am not going to sit on a corner and tell people about flat earth. There is no fucking point. Okay,
Why are
it's
you
a
doing this
waste of
video?
time, and plus you're risking your life at this point. People are gonna get. I mean, the NPCs, forget it. Forget about them. You know, I mean, they will. I don't even get me started about that. I mean, there's just really no point. I mean, it's just.
You're the
it's,
one getting
it's
yourself
so
started. Nobody
obvious,
else is talking.
and it's
Cece.
always been so
You're alone in
obvious
your
to us.
car.
You know, when you're brought up with this miraculous change, okay, of reality, of what you live on, you know, and you learned all of your life, no matter how old you are.
I think the car next to him is looking over like, what is this guy doing talking to himself?
18, 20, you know, 30, 40, 60, 70. If you're in your mid 80s and you're just learning about flat Earth, okay, I feel sorry for you. It's going to be a wow.
You missed out on a
It's going to be a
lot.
big one for you. But you know, it's just amazing. You know, and it's just not only flat Earth. I mean, there's so many other things in flat Earth. I mean, there's all the architectural engineering. You know, there is things that were built hundreds of thousands. Well, not hundreds of thousands. Well, maybe. Who knows? We don't know exactly how old everything is, but I certainly don't believe it's that old. But anyway, thousands of years ago of technology, you know, obviously they used lasers, they had lights. You know, you can't build shit underground without a flashlight. You're not going to sit there with a fucking candle, you idiot. Come on, you have to understand this. These people who built the freaking aqueduct system that goes all the way upstate and comes all the way down to New York City to bring water to them, when the Romans had it, they weren't sitting there with a fucking candle, okay, or a Bunsen burner. They had electricity a long time ago.
What?
They had technology that we have now that we're just discovering. I mean, really? Come on, look at your office building. You're telling me that office building that you're in right now is as advanced as some of the architecture in Paris, or the pyramids or anything like that? Shouldn't we be building like fucking glass cities at this point right now? Well, that's what we were fed back in the day with science fiction movies. You know,
Yeah, movies, Stacey, movies. You have to stop thinking that movies are reality. Barron says it's truly frightening how these people have absolutely no understanding of the most rudimentary concepts of physical reality. They absolutely revel in it, right? And a lot of it's like very simple things you could go and read about and learn. Like a lot of the questions he asks, I'm like, Cece, we do know the answer to this. I don't know why you haven't sought it out and you're just sitting in your car screaming about it into your phone all the time. Go learn something. But that's the thing, is that, again, everyone's lying to them, so none of the information is true.
No, they've always articulated all of these future cities, you know, with cars flying around, you know, and beautiful buildings that look like glass buildings or ice sculptures and shit like that. But none of it's ever come true, you know.
No, but they never actually said that it was going to come true, though, Cece. It wasn't like promised to us or something. Okay, like it's the way that people, especially way back in the day, saw our world today. Right? They figured that technology would really boom, and it has. Just not as quickly as some thought it would once it kind of took off, you know? They just... I don't know if they'll ever make flying cars and make it look like the Jetsons. I don't know, Cece. But that wasn't promised to us because the Jetsons cartoon existed, and in some sci-fi movies, they said that the world would look like that at this time. And some people, I do know that there are some like gurus and some people that have also stated that around this time, our world would be like that. from years and years ago. But again, it's not like it was promised to us and they like lied to us or something. He's acting like they lied to us, like the government lied to us. Damn it, why don't we have flying cars right now? The government lied. We're supposed to be flying in this car right now. That damn gravity's keeping me down. But it's not real. Like, I just... Come on, CC.
And it never will. Never will. You'll never see anything flying up in the air apart from a plane or anything like that. And if they do, and they already have invented cars that fly, but they're like $2 million. You know, who the fuck is going to buy?
Well, I'm kind of happy about that. I feel like we get into enough accidents on the ground. We probably shouldn't all take flight. I'm just saying.
One of those things. Plus, you have to go through probably God knows what kind of training
that's just my
and all
fear
this
of
other
driving
bullshit
car.
that nobody's even going to bother. I mean, really. It's fucking real. I don't know. I got this.
And the fact I've lost like
right
3
now,
good
but it's all
friends.
right. It's all right. It's all right. Let's get back on. Yep. And then nobody really questions volcanoes. You know, everybody thinks a volcano is from the core of the earth.
What? What do you mean nobody questions volcanoes? What does that even mean? Nobody questions the volcanoes. I mean, we kind of have. I mean, that's why we know so much about volcanoes. I mean, the reason why we know anything about our world is because somebody went, why does this exist? Let's figure this shit out. Let's look into this and learn as much as we can about it. So, like, what does that mean? Like, you want us to be all up in arms over what the scientists tell us about volcanoes now, too? Like, weird call to action. There are centuries worth of documents created by geographers and surveyors, exactly. They describe in detail spending lifetimes physically laying out ropes and chains to create maps. That's right. People have documented everything. Luckily for us. At one point, someone said, somewhere along the way, we should write down everything we're doing and explain it all so that future people that come across it will know how this all came to be and we will leave our legacy, right? For them, it was probably more about leaving their legacy, right? There was a lot about leaving legacies back then. It's a big thing, you know? So for them, it was like everyone has to know that we've laid these here. This is our legacy and they need to understand it all. And so because of that, we do have proof of how things have come to be. Like even the pyramids, how they were built. I mean, we've questioned it and we looked into it. Because yes, people did go, how the hell did they do that with no tools? That's crazy sauce. I'm going to go and try to figure it out. You know what I mean? The government isn't like telling us all what to believe about things. People seek out that information and find out the answers to it. And sure, some of them might have organizations that get government funding, maybe, but that doesn't mean that they're then working on behalf of the government. Those are also very different things, and that's a distinction that these guys can't seem to understand. There's a difference between getting government funding for something and then actually being a hired shrill for a government, you know?
But why do they go off and why don't they all go off at the same time? And why doesn't
for crying out loud
every single one of them go off and destroy this earth? See, God didn't want that. He'll have a volcano go off every once in a while.
Now,
Sure,
God,
why not?
you know this?
Make things fun. You know, but no.
Now God is in on this. I've been complaining this the whole time. with his Christian belief system, he wasn't using God, and aha, here it is. Here it is. Oh, I love this. Okay. You guys ready? Taz has a comment. Did you realize this place is a simulation yet? Double slit experiment. James Gates found computer code in string theory equation. Brain knows your choice before you do. I could go on. You should really, instead of going on to me about this, you should go and research neuroscience. You see, I grew up with a mom who actually has her master's in neurophysiology. And I was a really fucking weird kid, and I really liked to read. And sometimes I would get bored, and I would just read her textbooks that were in the library next to the couch in our living room. And that might have something to do with why I like science and the study of the brain so much. I don't know. But you can learn why your brain knows your choice before you do. It's more about the makeup of your brain and how it works, and then how we receive the information and how we filter that information. I often talk about how the brain works because it's a special interest of mine. And I think it's fascinating to look at the biology of why we believe things along with the psychology and sociology and philosophy of it. I try to look at all of it, you know? So I recommend doing that. You'd be surprised what you could learn about the brain and how it works, and also how we process information, which is something else that I'm very knowledgeable about, because I mean, I would really be doing you all a disservice if I came here to talk about cults and why we believe the things that we believe if I didn't have an understanding of that, I think. And I've been doing this for 6 years, so I spent a lot of time honing up on my knowledge of what I feel like I need to know in order to present to you the best information that I can, so that we can actually deep dive these things and try to get to the bottom of it in some way. Or at least do a really thorough search, you know? There are countless tables of latitude and longitude measurements. I recently read a 17th century treatise discussing contraction of degrees to establish accurate longitude measurements. That sounds fascinating. That is exactly the type of thing that I would read just because I got bored one day on a Sunday. I like his hat. His scully hair. That does explain a few things, Queen. Oh, please, let's discuss string theory equations. Let me get one of my textbooks. Yes, there you go. We can't.
God, the creator of everything, he or she, whoever, put a lot into this world.
Now,
I don't want to say fool you. I want to say keep you thinking, keep you on your feet.
Sometimes it is.
Okay. If you were given a choice of what you lived in or what you can live in.
Well, I think you're an NPC.
Well, let me restate that. Okay. All right. And this is going back to, the plausible possibility of beyond flat Earth. Okay. If you wanted to create a life for yourself, a short life, a vacation, basically, what would you do? How would you create it? Would you have God just randomly create it for you? Or would you make it yourself?
What?
Or there are different levels of life, that you have down here, or have you lived many lives down here? These are all questions, that we have in the plausible possibility of beyond flat Earth. And look at this idiot. What lane are you going to go in? You going to go in this lane or in the other one? It's all right. It's all right. Hi, how are you?
Excuse me, Taz, but I believe that over here on my channel, we're in my simulation. And in my simulation, the NPCs are the other people. are the people who believe that it's a simulation. So if you want to have that belief, go back to your own simulation then. I'm the main character of mine over here.
Good to see you. Your driving skills are of an 18-year-old.
That was weird.
Anyway, having difficulty thinking because this van in front of me is spewing out smog from his car, and it just absolutely stinks, and it's filling up my cabin with noxious air.
He's so angry all the time.
It's all right. He's got Jersey
Oh my
plates.
God.
What do you expect? Sorry, Jersey. All right. I mean, really. Oh, Jesus. Fucking thing. I gotta get away from this thing. Surprised he's not smoking a bong. Come on, get the bong going. You know, right? Everything's legal. I smoke pot all the time. You know, I drove into Poughkeepsie the other day. It's like pot heaven in there. You want to get a contact high? Sit on the fucking sidewalk, man. That's all you gotta do. Just sit on the sidewalk. You smell it all in there.
But I don't understand, Taz, because if you actually believe that, then why did you think that you could come over here into my simulation and then tell me who the NPCs are? That doesn't make much sense. Tony Soprano will get you, CC. By their logic, then, we must all be NPCs to each other. Yes. And is that insanity? And then you're also the main character of the world. Not just your own story. No. Like the entire world. Right? Because for everyone to be an NPC other than you must be real fucking important. Right? If everybody's living their own Truman Show. That's crazy sauce, isn't it? NPCs will police you into thinking this place is physical. You're right, it's not physical at all. I am not here. I just, boop, don't exist.
The minute I pulled in, right when I got into the freaking town line, it just stunk like marijuana. It's great. It's even worse in the city. But this is Poughkeepsie, man. Going to Newburgh. Oh, Newburgh's another one. Another favorite of mine.
Wait, you guys have a Newburgh?
That's another great fucking area. Whoa.
I grew up in Newburgh. It's just outside of Napanee, Ontario.
There are some good areas of Poughkeepsie. There are some good areas in Newburgh. Don't get me wrong, okay?
Newburgh.
But all in all, if you go into the main street or any other street in town, you better not go alone. That's my personal.
Well, if the table that my laptop is sitting on is empty space, why the fuck do I stub my toe on it once a week at least? And it hurts me. Can you explain that to me? I would like to know. Because in my simulation, I wouldn't stub my toe at all. I'm just saying. Whoever's writing my simulation apparently doesn't know me at all. Okay? And I'm starting to get mad then. I need to have a conversation with my creator, please. So can you please go and let know whoever's allegedly running these simulations that Beth Gibbons would like to speak to the creator of hers? That would be very helpful. Thank you. The brain makes it real. Electrical signals sent to your brain. No, I already said I understand how the brain works. That wouldn't be a thing. That wouldn't be a thing, especially since I feel pain delayed. Like I'll stub my toe and hit it and walk 4 steps and then be like, ow. So what then? Are you taking into account my autism and my ADHD with this? Because my brain doesn't work like your brain. I'm just saying.
Belief. It's kind of scary. Stay away.
Wearing shoes. I don't wear shoes. We don't wear shoes in our houses. Here in Canada. You take your shoes off at the door. That's rude. How dare you? Delayed pain autism can so easily be coded. Oh, don't. Okay, so in my simulation, you were like, we want to create a little girl, and then we would like her to get raped for the first 6 years of her life. That sounds like a really good thing to do to somebody. Let's set that up. So why are you all pedophiles then? Explain yourselves! That's also why I have a hard time believing in God. I also have a hard time believing that a God was like, yeah, we're going to start your life off like that. Put you up for adoption. Fuck you over right away. Give you separation anxiety as a baby. Put you through a whole bunch of trauma till you're like, about 26. And then we'll let you like have a good life after that. If you can. If all the mental health issues that we gave you didn't fuck you up by then, that is. And I do have a very, very good life right now, by the way. They haven't stopped me. That's always my message. But, All right, well, you can literally just go fuck yourself now. They said, you may have chosen that. Oh, yeah, all of us women choose to be raped. Maybe you got bored with not being raped. Now, I don't know what kind of sociopath you are, but we don't deal with your kind here. Maybe you got bored with not being raped in your past iterations. And so you decided to play the game on a much harder level. Well, let me tell you, the game is now over for you, sir. Your simulation has officially been ended. This simulation is over. You have been terminated without notice!
So back to the plausible possibility of being on flat Earth. What would you do? How would you set your life? Would you just take a random script and say, yeah, I want
Just
that?
went on big rant about how it smells like pot. That's one thing. If you don't smoke, then yeah, okay, smoke's obviously going to bother you. Bothers me sometimes, and I do smoke the green. But cigarette smoke does bother me if I smell a lot of it. And I smoke the green with tobacco in it, to tell you the truth. So it really shouldn't, but it does. I can really smell it if I go out. But I don't get it if you're smoking. Don't go on a big rant. Thanks, I was ready to do that. Thanks, Joe. I know you were. Car on the left passed him up. He's going to hurt someone.
Or I want this. Or I want pain. I want suffering. Or is it all just part of the random programming? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. If you always wanted people to love you, for example, you would probably pick something, problems with yourself. I don't know how to softly say this, but
see, you can't pick things like that. You can't believe that you live in a world that would choose things like that. It's like everybody has free will. Some people suck more than others. Some people are good people compared to others. It's just the way it goes. Human's gonna human. Human's gonna human. But nobody, if they had the choice, would choose hardships. Okay? People need to stop thinking this.
Being disabled or something like that.
Like, why would you choose that?
I don't know. What about your looks? What do you do there? We all look different, right?
Well,
what do you do? Who do you pick? How do you pick it?
Oh, well, I picked my parents wrong being adopted. I don't know how I went wrong there. Damn. But no, seriously, though. CC, now this is just silly. Now we're talking genetics. And now you don't understand how that works. You really don't understand how anything works, apparently. Not one thing. Not even one. Like, really, what Baron said earlier. Jesus, it's literally everything. See, we all look different because we're not all related, thankfully. It's not good to have kids with people you're related to. But no, on a serious note, you look like your parents. You get half of your genes from your mother and half of your genes from your father, and then it makes you. And that's why, you look like both parents to some degree. Most people do, Same with personality traits can kind of work like that too. And then some of it's also environmental when it comes to your personality, of course. But you have to know how this works. Like, you have children. You understand how this works. Like, I'm starting to be like, are you rage baiting the internet, CC? Are you fucking trolling everybody? Are you just out here trolling all the globe earthers just for the fuck of it? But you actually do believe that the earth is a globe, and you're just wondering if you can maybe get famous by doing these videos or something? At this point, I'm like, you literally can't be that dumb. That is a dumb thing to wonder about at this point in your life.
Well, these are all fun things to think about, the plausible possibility of being on flat Earth. But it just screams it all the time now, I mean, NPCs are
I feel like no matter what shape the Earth is, like, our genetics would still work the same, no? Does that change everything? Bye.
Here to distract you. They're here to keep your mind off of things. To keep you on your toes. I guess that's probably the best way to do it. And all of us flat earthers, we just seem to be perfectly or strategically positioned in different areas. Where we kind of want to be left alone, and if we didn't have cell phones and the internet and social networking, none of us would have ever met each other. But now we have all of this access. Was that programmed, or is that something that just happened?
It does.
That now we're able to get together.
Not the right.
Create meetings. We're able to talk to each other and bounce ideas off of each other. And all the good stuff. That's the whole point. Well, not the point of flat Earth, but it's part of flat Earth is to meet other flat Earthers.
You're just talking about flat Earth. I thought you were talking about humanity as a whole.
Having people. This is another thing that really annoys me. Really pisses me off. People say that we feel special. Special? What the fuck are you talking about? Every fucking person out there who's not a flat earther, and pretty much everybody in Westchester County isn't, ridicules everybody who is a flat earther. Why would we want to be special? We want that? No, we don't want that. We want the truth to be brought out to people for them to understand what the fuck they're living on, why the lie is out there. Okay? And to grow up and find yourself. Being flat earther is not being special or feeling special.
You really do it to yourself, though, Cece. Like, if you are actually struggling with the truth here and people not believing you, you're the one that uploads these videos, and then you get mad that you're not changing people's minds, but you're just so angry in them. And they're just ranting videos for the most part. Joe says, keep your eyes on the road. I agree.
Good feeling about coming across this and understanding it is to change somebody's life and have them think about it. But you're not going to change somebody's life over a cup of coffee. Okay? All you can do is you can
Well, there goes that idea, Joe.
explain everything to them and say, this diagram, this Earth that you grew up with doesn't work. It doesn't. It's all a lie. All of it.
But yours doesn't work. Your flat Earth doesn't work.
I mean, that's all it is. It's just bullshit.
Bullshit.
And again, it's there to just keep you in this fucking prison. And
Prison, though?
Feeling alone. And yeah, you get married, you have kids. Kids eventually don't pay attention to you anymore. You know?
What?
They go off, they do their own thing. I mean, it's just every life is kind of like that, but I don't know. Yeah, you better get
Is
the.
that what's going on, CC? Your kids are growing now. They've moved out of the house. You got a little bit of empty nest syndrome. Apparently, your wife cheated on you. Like, what is happening?
That's county police. Don't fuck with county police, man. If they're behind you, move your car, okay? But I mean, you understand what I'm saying here. You know, I mean, every flat earther does, because they have all gone through this. You know, we don't feel special by far.
Well, why do you all keep coming on here then in a public way and then making these statements if you know that it's going to get you that attention and people responding to you telling you you're wrong? If you don't want to be special in some way and you don't want the attention at all. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, you do it to yourself. Like, nobody is forcing you, Cece, to make flat earth videos. In fact, your wife seems to want you to stop it. Like, based on what we've seen. So, like, you're doing that to yourself. And then you're complaining about it. Like, there is no bigger thing here that's like, you're not spreading awareness where you're saving people from the globe earth belief system. So if it's getting you this upset, what are we doing? You know, there's only one round earth theory. Ask 100 flat earthers to explain what flat earth actually means, and you'll get 1,000 incoherent rants. Yeah, and like I said, there's many different flat earth, like, sort of theories. It does. It splits off into all kinds of different things. They don't all believe in one thing. And there's no evidence of this.
People in the office, they don't even, well, not the people that I work with, but the other people in the office building, they won't have anything to do with me. You know, and I don't even say hi anymore. Fuck them. I mean, I don't care. You want to live in that little fucking bubble of a world of bullshit? A bubble bullshit world. How's that?
I'm actually getting a little worried. Like, Cece, you should not be going into work and then trying to get people to believe in this belief system. Just go to work and do your job. What if you lose your job? Because people are like, you really have to get rid of that CC guy. He keeps coming into work and, like, yelling at us about the flat earth. Like, I just don't want to talk to him anymore. It's weird.
Is that good? Bubble bullshit world. Okay, good. Let's get the initials on that one and make a shirt. All right, because it is so bad that, fine, you can't even come up to me and ask me a question. You know, a simple question. You know, why do you think NASA is lies or anything? Why?
Yeah, why?
Why do you think they lie? Or why do you think the space agencies lie? You know, we blast things off all the time. Yeah, that's right, we do. We certainly do. I really haven't covered everything I wanted to cover. It sucks. But all right.
Get a note, CC.
All right, I might try to put something out for the weekend. All right, thank you for subbing. Thank you for viewing my videos and let me be a part of your life.
I don't know, CC. I might regret it if you keep going on this downward spiral here. We're going back in time. Remember, we're doing this backwards. We started off with today's video And this video we're about to watch, which is called It's Because of Trump on Our Flat Earth, is from the 1st of February. So we've done basically one of every month going back. Because the last time I reacted to CC, it was December. So we're trying to catch up a little bit here. But, yeah. Somehow he's very angry. Very, very angry. Hasn't calmed down much at all. So Elon Musk is also lying about Starlink, right? I guess so. I guess so. He doesn't touch on that too much, though.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris from New York, Westchester County. It's 21, 25. Start of a new month, guys. You know what that means? A fresh new month, I guess. I don't know.
Very good, CC. Good job.
Okay, so my phone no longer has a compartment for speaker to hook up, I mean, not speakers. I mean, headphones. Okay. And that's all the new phones are like that. And this does not have a little coaxy plug-in or whatever the fuck you want to call it, whatever the fuck it is, I could care less. All I know is I just went into Best Buy, okay? And they've done this to themselves. This is why these freaking businesses are going out, okay? Because you have no choice. You've got to buy your shit on Amazon at this point if you want to get any deal at all whatsoever, all right? Let's take, for example, their choices. And I don't even want to tell you the names of these headphones, because I don't know anything about headphones.
I mean, yes, overconsumption is an issue. The prices of things are an issue. Everything right now like that is an issue, yes. But something tells me you're going to turn this into a ramp I don't agree with by the end.
Your choice is to buy a $449 one. I saw one for $379. Okay, do you realize how much that is? I mean, that's a fucking car payment for headphones. I remember I could just get some headphones for like $30, $40, maybe $80. Plug it right into your phone, had a little speaker system on it. I mean, a microphone system on it. You could talk, communicate to everybody. So I go into Best Buy, and that's what I find. I find nothing.
He does. We call him Scully sometimes. He reminds me of the seagull from The Little Mermaid when he puts the fork through his feathers and it poofs up. That's what CC always reminds me of, because his hair is always like poofy. His hair is always poofy. Violet made a comment earlier that she understands why he doesn't believe in gravity, because his hair is always like standing up and poofed out. Almost anything can be a marital aid if you're freaky enough. That's right. Yes, so.
But bullshit. And people wonder why these companies are going out of business. Best Buy, you suck. Fuck you. I would never spend $439 for a fucking headphones.
I'm going to tell you right now that tonight, CC has sworn more than any other time that I've reacted to him. And we've done like more than one of his videos several times where we've done this and gone through like 3 or 4 or 5. Like, he's swearing in like all of the videos and getting angry in all of the videos this year. We used to watch CC, and although he would get kind of agitated and you'd see it, he didn't flip out this much, though. He went like full on, be like, fuck you, Best Buy, and fuck this. And like, he's very angry in 2025. 2025 CC is a very angry CC.
For my goddamn phone. Are you fucking kidding me? All I want is a Bluetooth headset. That's it. And that's what they want. What fucking nonsense. Okay, planes. Oh, planes, trains, and automobiles.
Lord.
You know, that was a really good movie with John Candy. Probably one of the best.
Is it real?
You're going the wrong way.
Yeah, you are.
Anyway, do you see how everything works on this flat land, this flat plane that we live on, this mysterious world that we live on, this bullshit news and bullshit everything? They have to keep you occupied. They have to keep people talking. Okay, whether any of these people died, I have no idea. You won't either.
What?
None of us will. It's just stories that are told. It's a storybook, and that's all it is. Look at the planes, look at the numbers, look at the landing pad that the helicopter came off of, 33. All right, and okay, all right. As a for people out there that are airplane pilots or anything like that, yes, okay, I'll give it. All right, the small planes usually take off on airpad 33. All right, that would be helicopters and single engine planes and stuff like that. All right,
Really doing that.
and every airport has a 33. But of course, this one does too. And this is where this helicopter apparently took off. And his altitude was too high. Okay.
Right.
Now, for the other thing that happened hours after, a couple of days after that, what the fuck? Okay, so 2.
Nothing. And we found that out in my very first reaction to him, where I ended up having to explain it all to him. We had to explain the tilt. We had to explain the whole thing. Basically, aerodynamics to Cece. He sees them in the sky. That's it.
In less than a week. And you're telling me that's coincidence? No, it's not. No, there are no coincidences. Coincidences do not exist.
Flat earthers are all about the flight paths, right? And they claim that the flight paths don't make sense, and so they tend to obsess about planes. They don't understand how a plane can fly around the globe. You know, they don't understand how the nose has to tilt. Like, they don't get any of it. But for some reason, even though they'll openly admit they don't understand any of it, they'll still be like, but it's wrong. Whatever it is. Like, and what's angry about Cece is it's like he doesn't even try to understand it. Like, at this point, I'm just like, you're not even fucking trying. Like, a lot of these things like gravity is very basic that you can just go learn about. You know, like, find information on all these things so easily. But he's such a conspiracy theorist that, of course, it's all lies. It's all just the government feeding it to you. It's so frustrating.
Not on this flat
Like, if you would stop with the conspiracy about the government, then maybe you could learn some of these things, and then they would make more sense to you, and then you wouldn't be so fucking mad in your car all the time.
He might think it might. Why wouldn't he? He was brought up that way. We were all brought up that way. Oh, it's a coinky dink. That's what they used to say when I was a kid. A coinky dink. I'll give you a fucking coinky dink. Trying to get over here. I want to get to this store because Best Buy was a bust at $439. No, guys, I don't have that kind of money to spend on a fucking pair of headphones. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Even if I did, I'd be a fool to even buy them. I mean, that's just absolute fucking nonsense. God, fuck, shit. What? That just pisses me off. I wanted to listen to some music, and just relax on a Saturday night and enjoy, and now I can't. I mean, it's just these fucking businesses. You really have no choice.
Go to Walmart.
Just buy it on Amazon. It's going to be some piece of shit from China, whatever the fuck it is, some aftermarket crap, and it's probably going to work for about 6 months. But yet you're not going to pay $439 for it. Oh man, fucking Christ! I mean, everybody's people pay these prices in Westchester County, and I just can't understand. I mean, you go to a bar now, and a glass of wine, and that wine that you're drinking, by the way, is like a $10.99 bottle, and you're spending for a glass of wine, not even a 6-ounce glass of wine, you are paying $21 for a glass of wine.
Did you end up taking Mrs. CC out?
$21 fucking dollars for a glass of wine here in Westchester County. That's great, guys. Fucking A. Has your salary gone up? Oh, no, it hasn't. Mine hasn't. Where is the inflation? The inflation's here right now, and the salary isn't equivalent to the inflation prices at all. You say, oh yeah, that's because of Trump. No, bullshit. My ass. Biden's been doing this for the last fucking 4 years. Now Trump is cleaning it up. So don't give me that crap about Biden. About Trump. Why have the gas prices come down? It takes time. It took time for everything to go up in prices, and it's going to take time for everything to go down in prices. This isn't going to happen overnight. This mess is going to take years to fucking clean up. Years to clean up. And that's what they wanted. They knew he was going to get elected. They knew everybody, this is the new revolution of America, okay? This is going to be in the history books as the new fucking revolution. God, these lazy ass, can't you bring your fucking shopping cart and just put it into the carriage? I like to call it the carriage jail. You can't put it there. You can't just get your little fat. We gotta get him to make fun of people, but
Well, honestly, Baron, I'm worried that if we send him to Sam's Club, there'll be a video out the next day called "Fuck Sam's Club." That's what's gonna happen. I don't know if we should. Maybe we should tell him about it. Let's save them the hassle.
They're using all of this crap, Grubhub. Oh my God, just get off your ass and go buy your food at the fucking store. You get up off the couch, you turn the TV off, and you go to the store and you get your food. And then you go home and you cook it. It's as simple as that. When you have time to do it on the weekend, enjoy yourself. Cooking is, it's a celebration. Kind of for everybody, Yeah.
Okay. That's fine and dandy, but here's the thing: not everybody likes cooking, and that's fine. A lot of people only cook in order to eat to survive, and that's okay too. Again, Cece, I don't know why you're now concentrating on how other people don't cook their meals at home. Like, the problem is if less people go out, as you're finding out, because that's what's going on. That's part of the issue with the prices going up, is less people go out, the prices have to go up so that they can afford things. Part of the problem. Nobody can afford to go out. And now they really can't afford to go out, that's kind of what happened. So, Lord, I just don't understand why you would get so mad at other people not cooking. It's no skin off your back. Also, a lot of people use HelloFresh and things like this, which is cool. I see a lot of people are getting into cooking and maybe normally wouldn't get into cooking because of those kinds of things like the HelloFresh. I don't know what other ones there are. I haven't really ever used the HelloFresh one. But, there's a few of them out there. And that gets people into cooking. But it's okay, so then you go buy your food and then go on a Saturday and cook it and enjoy yourself. But why are you yelling at me? Because you've assumed that I don't do this. You don't even know me. You don't know if I go out and eat or not. But you're like in your car, like yelling about how society is not all cooking their own food. And it's bizarre. It's just a bizarre moment, Cece. He does cook a very good looking turkey. I'm sure he's a good cook. Please take your meds. Right? I just took mine. This guy will be on Dateline one day. I'm calling it now. Like, if he doesn't calm down, yeah. Like, that's what I'm saying. The last time that we reacted to Cece, he was starting to get a little angry. And I said, I'm getting a little bit worried about him because he seems to be getting angrier and angrier. Like, it's almost like he thought that if he started uploading these videos, that everyone would, like, watch them, and then they would be like, oh my god, this guy's really opened my eyes. And, like, by now, he would have, like, this, like, millions of people that are like, Cece really opened my eyes about how the earth is flat, guys. The earth is flat, and it's not happening. And so he's, like, lashing out about it now. By being like, how come not everyone is on board with this yet? And it's like every little thing now that happens in his life, like, triggers him to this. Like, the guy couldn't go to Wendy's without recording some innocent person that was just trying to have a damn private phone call in public the best that they could. And then, like, it's like, what are you doing, Cece? Like, why are you having these weird random moments where you're just, like, so angry? It's freaky.
But yet these people, they can't. They don't know what to do. I mean, they're confused because they were brought up in the generation before my generation.
Boomers?
For parents who don't know how to cook. That
I don't know the generation.
Their cooking is dialing. That's it. Give a rotary dial to a kid now. I'd love to see their reaction.
I literally just told you that that's not true. There's a huge surge in these, like, HelloFresh sorts of things where people are actually basically ordering meal prep stuff so that they get the exact ingredients needed for the meal so that it doesn't waste the food and you don't have extra packaging to throw out. They usually try not to use as much packaging as maybe going to the grocery store and buying all this stuff yourself would use. And it's less food waste. And a lot of the young people are very into it right now. In fact, I'd argue that that's how a lot of young people are learning how to cook right now, is through things like HelloFresh, and that's very available for them. And that's how, like, I've seen a lot of college students and younger people in their 20s be like, hey, I learned how to cook because I'm getting HelloFresh, like, out here creating content. It's a really big thing. I would argue that they probably cook more than us millennials did. We were the ones that went to fast food joints more, probably. I feel like nowadays, most of the kids in their 20s today probably can't afford it. I mean, we could hardly afford it at that age, so they probably can't even afford it. But it has been proven to be about the same price as groceries to use things like HelloFresh. And like I said, less food waste, less packaging, so less garbage to throw out. And honestly, the younger people, that's what they're all about, is saving the environment and all that jazz. So, you know, it works for them. It's like he doesn't actually know what's going on in the world when he complains about these things. So it's like, why are you even mad about this?
A rotary dial to a 10-year-old right now would look like somebody, what is it, the Stone Ages? And it was just 30 or 40 years ago. Do you see how quickly the technology is going right now? But yet there's no cure for anything. There's nothing.
Wait,
Technology.
you wanted earlier, you were complaining that the cars weren't flying yet. Now the technology's moving too fast.
Is taking over, but our health care system and everything else is going backwards.
Oh, is
Right? Shouldn't there be a cure for something? No. The only cure that they have is to stick yourself with something that you don't know what you're sticking yourself with.
What? That's not a cure.
Wow, I really went on a tangent. I don't know
Vaccines aren't a cure.
where this video is going. I went from this and that and all this. I'm pissed off. Fucking Best Buy pissed me off. Fuck you, Best Buy. You suck. I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos. Let me be a part of your life.
Okay, Best Buy. All right, Best Buy in New York, Westchester County. Time to maybe get a restraining order. Just, don't let him come back. Lord. Fuck you, Best Buy, he says. Fuck you, Best Buy. I'm sorry, that shit's hilarious. I don't even care. Fast food often costs as much as a regular restaurant. Yep, when I want a good burger out, I go to Applebee's. Actually cheaper and better than fast food versions. If we're going to a fast food place, it's usually for the little one. She likes her McDonald's sometimes. We have one just close by. I like it. I used to work there. But, yeah, usually if we're going out for that. Otherwise, if we order food, we usually aren't ordering fast food. We're going to get, like, Chinese food, and it's going to be real good Chinese food. Not a big fan of buffet-ish food either. You don't go to Best Buy anyways. Fuck you, Best Buy. This is so funny. It's like, why is he so mad over Best Buy? It is, like, the prices of things are too high, though. It's just, again, I don't know what that had to do with the flat earth. Or the government, really. Biden. For sure, because he's not the government right now. But anyway, here we are. This is the last one. And this one is from January. We've made it all the way back to January. January 24th. And it is called Generation After Generation of Lies on Our Flat Earth. Just generation after generation. Nothing but lies.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you may be. CC here, Chris, from New York, Westchester County. It's 1:24:25. Today's a Friday. I'd like to give a little something out on a Friday, just in case if I'm able to put something out on the weekend to think about a Friday. And there's many things to think about. There's no doubt about that. But the one main thing
CC, have you ever thought of maybe keeping a diary? Maybe you should start keeping a diary instead of doing these Think About It Fridays. And then maybe you could do Think About It Fridays, and just keep it to talking about the flat earth. And speaking about how the earth is flat and maybe teaching us why we should believe in that. And then maybe you won't be as angry.
I'd like you to think about is I don't see
Like
why people have such a problem understanding flat earth, and accepting it. That's there's a lot more, but that's just the tip of the iceberg, of course. But when people are children, just like I was taught this ridiculous Walt Disney World platform of just complete nonsense that I had no trouble believing and accepting. No trouble at all. Nobody has any problem accepting this ridiculous idea of the universe, of planets, of the distances they say everything is, and the size of everything. And I mean, you can't even understand the type of numbers that they're using for like the size of a black hole in comparison to the sun. It's like 500 times or 1,000 times. Why not just make it 1,000,000? You know, what the fuck? We all understand numbers, right? Yeah, 1,000,000 times the size of the sun is the size of a black hole. Oh, okay. Oh, whatever. Oh, that's 6 trillion miles away? Yeah, I know. That's right. You can see a light from 6 trillion miles away. Or how about even 5 light years away? 5 light years away. You're telling me you can see a light. Well, that must be some big-ass flashlight, man, because I don't know how that fucking is possible. Okay, I don't know.
That's the thing, that's not a flashlight. That's why it is possible. See how you just disproved your own theory there? Lord!
I don't know how water curves, okay? I don't understand it. After I've completely got out of this brainwashing, I don't understand how water can curve. I don't.
See, the thing is that CC just doesn't understand it. He's like, I don't understand it, therefore it must not be true. And it's like, that doesn't mean that, CC.
I don't understand how you can see a beam of light trillions and trillions and trillions of miles away.
That doesn't mean
I don't
it's not true.
understand how gravity works. It doesn't make any sense. Nobody even knows. Top scientists don't even fucking know how gravity, the one fucking thing, the most important thing, there's something we deal with on a daily basis, gravity, they don't know anything about. They don't know how it works. But yet you buy all of this bullshit. You don't understand it. You try to make sense of it, and you can't. And you get master's degrees in it. You become a astronomer.
Well, I mean, speak for yourself. I feel like the people that have master's degrees in it, they very much understand it. That's why they have their master's degree. You know, again, your lack of knowledge on this doesn't make it not true. Right? You can't just be like, oh, well, I don't understand how it works, therefore it doesn't work.
You become astronauts and eventually militarized. I don't understand why it's such a problem. I really don't. I don't have a problem understanding flat Earth.
And Barrett says, again, centuries worth of cartography, physical geographic surveys, Latin long tables, latitude longitude tables, checked and cross-checked over centuries, math treatises on spherical trigonometry, etc., etc., etc. But no, CC, you're right. You don't understand any of it, so it must not be true.
I don't have a problem understanding that we're flat, stationary, we're not moving. There are no stars up there. There's no space.
There is nothing to understand with that. That's what I mean. It's an easy way out, isn't it, CC? It's easy to just be like, oh, that's it, you know? It's an easy way out. Nothing's real. It's all fake. That's all you have to understand. But to learn how the world actually does work, you have to do a little bit of work yourself. You know, you have to go seek out that information and then learn it. You don't want to do that. So it's easier to just go, all of it is a lie.
There's no NASA. We're not going anywhere. We haven't gone anywhere. We never will go anywhere because they can't play it off again. I don't understand why people have a problem with that.
Wait, if NASA's not real, then who's sending me my paychecks every week?
I really don't. It's ridiculous, isn't it? But they want to continue believing this. They want to continue believing this lie and pushing it. As far as I'm concerned, it's abuse to children. To have them go through this generation and generation and generation.
Oh, fuck off.
Who are abusing this lie. Fuck, I have a phone call, and that sucks. I'm going to have to answer this. All right, I thank you for subbing. I thank you for viewing my videos.
There it is.
And let me be a part of your life.
So that was a good example of him getting a phone call, Joe. There you have it. That basically sums up CC, though. If he doesn't understand it, then it must be fake. And I would argue that that might sum up basically a lot of flat earthers are like that. For whatever reason, they don't understand this stuff. You know, I mean, some of it is quite complicated. But instead of just being like, okay, maybe it's outside my realm of understanding, but obviously they understand it, right? He goes, oh, that means it's fake. It's not real. I don't understand, so it's just not true. It's like, Lord, CC. Apollo 13 was fake. I watched it. It was real. Exactly. He thinks all of them are fake. Every time that anything has ever gone up into space, CC believes it was fake. And once again, it's like, why would everyone in the world want to keep up this lie? Like, what is the benefit of that? Because the world being flat wouldn't change anything. If anything, it would actually be helpful to science, because science would then get a whole bunch of funding to try to figure out how the world works, since we found out it was flat. So if scientists came across that information, they would surely let everybody know. And they would want to be looking into that further, right? So it's like, why? It just never makes sense. Never makes sense. And we might not ever fully understand these flat earthers. Like, we may never fully understand the entire world in our lifetime and see all of space and all of the ocean. But, you know, we can at least laugh at them in the meantime. So there's that. That's all I've got for you guys tonight. I thought that we needed to blow off some steam a little bit tonight, you know? Give our mind a break from cults, even though it still kind of came up. Always does. And just have a really good laugh at flat earthers and CC. And also, like I said, it had been like 10 months since we talked about this community, and I was like, well, that's criminal. I can't do that again. So I think we should start doing this at least once a month. Have a good old Flat Earth Friday where we just get to come together and laugh. I think it will be fun. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. It was a great time. I hope that all of you have a fabulous rest of your night and also a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Stay tuned to the community tab. I'll let you guys know what's going on for next week there, and probably be posting up some things, you know, over the weekend. And I'll see you guys on Monday for MLM Monday. Hit this like, subscribe if you're new. I love all your faces. Bye! Happy Flat Earth Friday, everyone. Thank you so much for coming and for hanging out tonight. Please give the video a like and subscribe if you are new here. Have a fabulous weekend. Wake up!